Go.
Where are we going?
We're going. We're
They can hear you. You realize that you gotta mute
yeah.
yourself.
That's the
Now
whole
you're
point.
now we're live now.
That's the
Now
whole
everybody
point.
yeah.
Yeah,
That-
it's more fun that way.
It is.
Can we do the whole show like this?
We could, and like periodically, like just kind of do this and then just do that, and people are
I
like,
kind of I like this like this. We don't have to,
It's like they're watching behind the scenes or something.
yeah, like when we're in this relocation program, you can't see us, but you can hear us.
yeah,
I even
exactly.
open my
So
voice
when-
so I don't sound the same.
Yeah. See, there you go.
See what this team's doing to us? It's driving us fucking insane.
For real.
Seriously. Oh, there we go again.
Oh, there we go again. Say, hey,
Hi.
all right, we're live now. We're live. We're just fucking being silly backstage, and we just decided to come up and start the show this way. Y'all already know what time it is. I appreciate everyone tapping in and rocking with us on this Wednesday night. Welcome to the Red Connection. We got a very interesting show for you guys today, to say the least. As you guys see the title of the show on the thumbnail, we're gonna go ahead and get into some shit. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, y'all. Here we go.
What?
Yo, what's good, nation? Welcome to the Raider Connection. I'm your host. I'm Jay Raider, alongside with my guy LB Raider 10.
What up, everybody?
And we had Jeff, but I think he just went to go take a piss or some shit. So, either way, there he is. There he is. I thought he went to the pisser, bro. I thought you went to the pisser, bro. Oh,
Nah.
man.
When I got a new coffee.
There you go. All right. Well, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button on all the channels. Appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in on this Wednesday night. Really quick before we go ahead and start really getting into it, let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and acknowledge chat because chat lives do matter. And you might ask, where's the fourth member to the tribe? I don't know. Where is the fourth member, Jeff?
Is that the movies?
Who is the master?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to see The Last Dragon.
I have never heard of that movie before in my life.
Exactly.
No, you need to enlighten yourself and watch it because it's good.
Yeah.
Leroy.
That's all right. That's all right. I watched it like 15 minutes of it, 20 minutes of it earlier today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's on Tubi.
Oh okay.
Yeah. So you can watch it. Yeah, really quick. Let's go ahead and acknowledge the chat. Shout out to our guy Robert Pena in the building. Salute my guy. Appreciate
What up,
you
Robert?
coming up. Mark Raiders, salute my guy. Welcome back, Raider fans. So another great show. Clock in, subscribe, hit the bell for future shows. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you, man. Thanks for pulling up.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, yes, sir. Our guy Dixon in the building. What to do, my guy? Shout out to GeoMax in the building. What's good, my guy? Where's the flag? What's good, brother? Good to see
I
you,
love
man.
Dixon's
Where's the
profile
flag?
pic.
What is it today?
Hey, shout out to Dixon Sider.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Greatest name in YouTube history, still the GOAT. The GOAT.
It's that old school troll face with a blonde with the Mark Davis hairdo on it.
Yeah. Oh man. Shout out to our guy Rosestown in the building. Salute,
Shout out,
my guy.
Rosestown.
Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to Huey P. What's good, my
Yes,
guy?
sir.
Huey.
Appreciate pulling up. JP right in the building. Oh, JP already with the Raiders. I don't give a damn if we're 2-15. I'm still gonna play that shit. Still gonna yell Raiders, motherfucking all day till the day I die. Shout out to our guy JP Ritter. Raiders quickly becoming one of my favorite live streams. Thanks for the great content. Hey man, thank you for pulling up.
Thank you. Appreciate
and
that.
supporting us, man, and rocking with us on
Hell yeah.
this Wednesday. Let's see here. Am I missing anybody else? John Leon in the building. Salute to John. Appreciate you tapping in, my guy. Salute. Our guy 805 in the building. What's good, my guy? Hey, great show yesterday. Man, that's fire, brother. Appreciate you pulling up and always rocking with us. Joel in the building. Y'all trading Max or what? We need him in Dallas, please and thank you.
What are you offering?
I'm
Make me a
sorry,
good
my
offer.
guy, to be the bearer of bad news, but it don't look like it's gonna happen, my guy. It's not gonna happen, my guy. I apologize.
Never say never.
I'm heartbroken. No, it's not. We're going to get into that part. We're getting into that pack. Shout out to Big Leg in the building. Salute. Wilson on the trade block. Don't play with my emotions, man. Don't play with my emotions. Salute. Let's see here. And then shout out to our guy, Raider Ryan, in the building. Salute, brother. Appreciate you pulling up and tapping in.
What's up, Ryan?
Yes, sir. Cat Daddy in the building as well.
What up, Cat Daddy?
Appreciate you pulling up.
What's up, Cat Daddy?
All right. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Let's go ahead and just break it down. Basically, mid-season review. And so we've already gone through 7 games this season, right? And Raiders, really nothing much to show for. 2-5 with 3 blowout games. And I think we're all on that page. We're all on that same wavelength mentally. It's like, what the fuck went wrong with this season? Let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start with Jeff to my right. What do you think went wrong? Yes, what do you think went wrong with this season?
Where the fuck do you start with what went wrong?
Really?
I got 3 words for
whatever
this
you want.
season.
Whatever you want.
I got 3 words for this season. We still suck. They're worse than last year. You know what kills me though is everybody had such great hope. You know, you bring in this not a historical, but you bring in a head coach of the stature of Pete Carroll, and you start thinking, all right, well, maybe we're going to get this thing back in order. Then you hear Chip Kelly's name, and you're like, oh, interesting. And then Patrick Graham stays, which you think, oh, that's going to be a good thing for the defense because the guys that are still going to be here are going to be used to him. It's going to be an easy transition. Fine, let's go with that. Then you don't really make any good moves in free agency. Or I'm sorry, I take that back. You don't address the major need, which is offensive line. So you skip over that. So now you got a piecemeal offensive line that you've been dealing with all season. You can't get your running game going, and it's not from the lack of the running back, because the running back's a great kid. He's a great runner. We just can't do anything. Then you got a quarterback that you bring in that some people, and I said this last week, if you go back and watch some other people's shows from the beginning of the season after the Patriots game, you would think that we had Joe Montana on the team. Everybody's like, oh, we got our quarterback. We're good. We just beat the Patriots. Blah, blah, blah. Well,
Really?
fast forward to now, everybody wants him out of the game. They want Pickett, and then Pickett comes in Sunday, first play, drops the ball. So it's like all these things that you were hoping were going to be fixed going into the season didn't get addressed properly. We used the second round pick on a guy that's barely even been on the field throughout the season, doesn't get any chances to even catch the ball out there. We're not barely even throwing to him. Then you got the guy that you think is going to be a top wide receiver, can't get open unless it's a deep route and he's breaking off and, going full bore down the field. Can't out-muscle anybody, but yet your quarterback still insists on throwing to him in double coverage. Same thing with Jakobi. So nothing's going right on the offensive side, and you would have thought with Chip Kelly and the firepower that we were going to have, we were going to be great. Brock Bowers goes down week 1, hasn't been the same since, been out of a few games. So you lose your main number, that's your number 1. You lose him, that hurts. Then you go to defense, and some games your corners look good, some games they suck. Some games the safeties look good, sometimes they suck. The only thing that's been a steady thing throughout the season has been some of our linebackers, and obviously Max. Max is still Max no matter what. Kuntz he ain't going to be back.
Nowhere.
Now, that 1 year show me deal, he ain't shown shit. So it's like everything that possibly, this was Murphy's Law 100%. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong this season. So it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just
What about you, Nate? What do you think went wrong with this season?
Honestly, to me, it's pride, and that's along everybody's. It's everything, because I truly believe that the moves they made in the offseason and in the draft, and they truly believe that those pieces and that it wouldn't be this bad, basically. That everyone would either develop if they were a rookie, or Geno wouldn't regress to being freaking New York Jets Geno, and that the offensive line would still hold up because the offensive line did decent last season at the end of the year. So they figured, okay, let's just try to tweak some things, and let's I don't know. But to me, it's pride, because the reason, or the fact that we're doing so bad and we just deny and don't want to make any kind of changes anywhere, either, wherever, pick your poison, really. You can make a change somewhere and, it would probably be better, but no one wants to make a change anywhere. That's my biggest thing. And is it Pete Carroll doesn't want to make a change either at quarterback because that's his guy, or Chip Kelly because his thing with JPJ, moving him from guard to center. Everybody has an opinion on that, but the fact that they're not doing anything and they're just staying put, that's the biggest problem for me this season, is that no one wants to make a change, no one wants to do anything different. We're just going to continue to be a bad team, and that's just that's what they want, apparently, because again, no one's gonna do anything differently. So that's the biggest problem for me, and that's what has gone wrong this season so far.
Yeah, for sure. Um, for me, I think you have to go back to the start of the off season. I think you go back from the point right before the draft, and obviously it goes without said, the quarterback position. That I feel that wasn't taken as seriously as should have been, right?
Mm.
And we went out and decided to go ahead and get another journeyman quarterback, another Band-Aid, right? Okay, cool. You go ahead and go out and get your Band-Aid and Geno Smith. But we never had a plan for a guy that will eventually take his place, right? Never took that drafting a quarterback seriously. went on and decided to go ahead a guy in the get a guy in the 6th round. Where is he at now? Practice squad. Okay. Let's talk about going out and fixing the offensive line, right? Offensive line was a great prior year. Got a little bit better. There was some potential there. What did we do? All right, cool. We went out and drafted 2 guys in the 3rd round. Cool. Where are they at now? Right on the bench. Healthy scratches. They don't even dress. Okay. What about free agency? Maybe we get a couple guys from there. Got the worst offensive lineman in the league last year. Where is he? Replacing JPJ, our best lineman. Oh, we need to go ahead and fix our defense. We let a lot of our defensive guys go that were on that 1-year contract, and they were on the last leg of their contract, and they're free agents. And we resigned half of our. Nope, we let them go. Okay, who are we going to replace them? We went out and fished at the bottom of the barrel. We decided to go to, what is it? Not even Marshall's. We went to Ross. Did some bargain shopping. And what did that get us? Not a whole lot, as we just saw on Sunday. And we'll go out and we're having all these guys play positions that they're not normally used to playing.
Jesus.
Why? It seems like a good idea. We think they could do it. Have it. Some of these guys never done it before. Okay, cool. And this is the thing. As we see it not work, have we made any adjustments to correct those, moves? Nope. And hence, we are here at 2-5 with 3 blowout games, piss poor performance. We definitely look worse than last year. So, I mean, where do you go from here? And it kind of goes into my next question. Like, why do we still continue seeing terrible performances, right? We went out, got a new head coach, got this nice, fancy offensive coordinator, just won the national championship at the collegiate level with Ohio State. Went out and got, a smart GM, a young GM, up-and-coming guy, right? Brought Brady over from New England to Tampa. Looks like we got adults in the building. And yet, we look worse than last year. Why? Well, what are your thoughts, Jeff? I'm gonna roll back to you. Like, why do we continue seeing like piss poor performances from this team?
I mean, at some point you gotta excuse me. At some point you gotta look at it. Is it really the coaches or is it the players?
Yeah.
Is it the players' talent level is that bad? Because obviously the coaches aren't out there, running the plays. They're calling in the plays, and it's up to the team, the players, and their athletic ability to do what they got to do. And if they're not in the right position, then that's on the coaches because they're not recognizing that those players shouldn't be in those certain positions. They did something with JPJ by moving him from center. Okay. They put him at guard. It's worked on and off throughout the season. I know some people are still clamoring to get him back at center, but I don't think you're going to see him go back to center. They're going to be, because if they put him back at center, it's just going to be a way for them. Pete Carroll's going to feel like, well, it's admitting that they're wrong, basically, and you're not going to see that. I don't think you're going to see him go back to center. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's not even starting this next game. Mm-hmm. There's something going on. I've said this before on our shows. There's something going on behind the scenes that the information is not coming out, and that's because JPJ is not the type of kid that's going to walk around and say, they said this about me, they said that about me. It's going to take someone else that overhears something that's going to eventually leak it out. But as of right now, nothing's come out. I still think there's something behind the scenes that we're not privy to that's causing this distension between him and the coaching staff. I don't know if it's maybe his attitude in the locker room, the way he responds to the coaches. I honestly don't know. You know, I think the big thing for fans though is we're at a stage in technology and everything. Everybody wants everything now. So you can get everything now for the most part. You know,
Right.
and when it comes to your favorite team and when they stop playing the games, you want to see immediate return on your investment as a fan for the team to do good. And it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, we have to trust the process and everything. But week in and week out, it's just such a shit product. Usually you get better as the year goes on, you know,
Mhm.
and we're going in the opposite direction. We're getting worse. Yeah, we won 2 games. We beat a Patriots team before they got better. We beat a Titans team who was absolutely crap, and we barely beat them. I mean, granted, we won by 10 points, but we should have put up more points against them.
Mhm.
You know, and like you said, we had 3 blowouts. 3 blowouts. This one this past weekend was by far the worst game. This might have been one of the worst games I think I've seen as a Raider fan.
Yeah.
This was bad. That was
It
bad.
was this is the one that really kind of
That one hurt.
stamp on that puts a stamp
Mhm.
on, I think, everything up to this point in the season for sure. I'm gonna address this real quick for Mister. I'm not gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go to the movies. Pretty active in the chat, my guy. If you want to say something, maybe you should have came on. Jay backtracking now. He was all happy about Patton Stokes. I mean, look, our fucking linebacker room was fucking looking pretty fucking slim, bro. And Stokes was Stokes, bro. I never even said it. I was just like, all right, cool. We got Stokes, bro. I ain't to backtrack about nothing, my guy. If you feel like I am, why don't you come on and tell me different? You got the link.
Hey, and just for the record, anybody bitching about Jack not getting put on the show last night, that's chapter presidents for the Black Hole. Jack's not a Black Hole. I don't even think he's a Black Hole member right now. So no, it's not an open show. So just move on from there.
Yeah. Nate, or what do you think we continue to still see terrible performances?
It's hard to say because, well, first off, our team constructed wasn't really had the most talent, to be fair. Like, looking from last season, we obviously only won 4 games. So the fact that we came in with a lot higher, me included, I was probably one of the biggest ones. The as high as expectations as we did have coming into this season, that seems a little delusional looking back on it now. And the fact that we didn't really, address big time needs, and I feel like we kind of lost some people as well. Um, it but also on top of that, it does take some time, especially with new coaching staff. My thought is that it's possible that all of the guys that we had on our roster didn't fit exactly what, mainly because I see mostly offensively, because that's where we've had the most struggles so far. I feel like a lot of the guys just doesn't fit what Chip Kelly wants to do. Um, and maybe that's what it is. That's why they've switched around the offensive line so much, and that's why they've been so set on JPJ not playing center and only playing guard. And no, these are our guys. We want them to play this way because they felt that this was it. And Geno Smith you know, not taking any blame because that's their guy as well. So I don't know. It's a whole bunch of stuff is the reason why we continue to see terrible performances. But
Right.
like, looking back on it, I think that our expectations might have been too high. So it might have been a little bit on us as well. Because like I said, we only won 4 games last year. Like,
Yeah.
how did we expect to make a huge jump in wins and roster construction with 1 first round pick and a couple of later, like, 3rd, 4th round picks? That it doesn't really work like that unless you hit on every single pick, on every single free agency signing. So the fact that we expected so much out of this team just because we have uh, a stable mind and someone that has been proven in Pete Carroll, I feel like it's kind of on us, again, me included, because I am I'm probably the biggest one. Go look back at my AFC West prediction. You are gonna cry laughing. That shit is hilarious. But that's really what I think it is. I think we just need to be a little bit more patient. The problem is we only have Pete Carroll for 3 years. We only have Geno Smith for 3 more years. Like the point was to start winning now, and the fact that we are not only not winning but losing at the rate we are, on top of losing by how much we are, that's mind-blowing, because that's not what's supposed to happen. We're supposed to progress throughout the season, get better, and it feels like we've regressed every single week. We have multiple problems, multiple different problems, and things need to start to get tightened up, or everybody across the board is going to start being on the extreme hot seat, because I know people already in Raider Nation want, heads on platters. So something needs to be done. Again, we continue to ask for change. Nothing's going to happen. So I feel like it's a combination of everything, really.
Oh man, yeah. Shout out to like I did most. 2 games behind playoff. We gonna make Super Bowl. AOC MVP incoming. My God. Oh Jesus Christ, that's fucking.
What's up, Sacktown? What's up, Accelerator?
Yeah, before I go into my my take on that, really quick, get the chili. He says everyone needs to stop panicking. Just trust the process. Give the staff time to sculpt the team they have in mind. The most stability we've had was Gruden, and his team was starting to look good at the end. So I'm gonna say this, brother. I think the whole trusting the process stuff. We've been there, done that, heard that, and all this season we're getting sold by Pete, and I say sold because it's fact. That's what it is. This team is not indicative of a team that's on the path to get better. It's not. We've regressed. If it was a 2-5, if we were 2-5, but all these games were close or they were lost within a respectable score, not 31-0. The nation would feel differently if the expectation that was given from the get-go, saying, hey, this is going to be a process where we're going to go ahead and bring in talent. It might happen. We'll try to make it happen within a season, but it might be a 2-season type of thing. Either way, we're going to get back to be competitive, yada yada yada. If that was the message from the get-go, the nation would feel differently. They would. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Let me ask Jeff, because Jeff has been one of the biggest outspoken proponents of this. So if you would have heard from the get-go, like, hey, if Pete would have came out saying, hey, this is going to be, we're going to try to bring in talent. We'll try to get it done within the season, but it might take 2 seasons to go ahead and get that, or we are going to be competitive. We're going to go out and try to win as many games as possible. If you hear that, what is your now expectation? Instead of saying, hey, we're going to go out and win 10, 11, 12 games. I feel confident we can win 10 games.
I think we all did at the start of the season. So if he would have come out and said, it's going to take some time, just bear with us, instead of coming out saying we're going to build to win now, probably would have been a little easy to deal with, watching how bad we are, because it's like, all right, well, we know we're not trying to bring in, we're not drafting and bringing in pieces of the puzzle that we think is going to push us to win now and win successful now. Not that we really even did that. I mean, did we really bring in players that can actually help us win this season? I don't think so. We didn't address the wide receiver issue, not in free agency anyway. We didn't address what we should have addressed to say that, hey, we're committed to winning now and put a team together in the process, but still try and win now. We didn't do anything as far as trying to bring in a better piece to the puzzle to play opposite side of Max, so he's not getting doubled and tripled. You know, so it makes it a little bit easier on him. So you'll have more of an impact. You know, I hate to say it, but losing Wilkins did hurt. I mean, that was a big factor. You know, between his injury, him not wanting to do what they were asking him to do, and then the other shit going on with him. Losing him hurt. If we would have had him, front defensive line would have been a little different because now you'd have him and Butler up front. Would we have made the trade for Booker? Probably not.
Mhm.
You know, so things would be a little bit different in that aspect. Offensive line, we didn't do shit. I mean, the fact that Parham was still your starter and didn't get cut, that blows my mind. So that just tells me right there that we didn't do enough to bring in somebody that could be to help anchor that left side along with Miller. You know, Miller getting hurt, that's one thing. I mean, that's just a freak thing that happens. There's nothing you can do about injuries. Injuries are injuries. You know, but yeah, it would have been a little easier to deal with, I think. Would have been more understanding.
Yeah.
But when they come out and say, hey, you know, we're going to build to win now, and that's the narrative they're pushing, well, I hope they're backing off of it now because I don't see us winning another game this season. I'm sorry.
He's still not. I haven't heard that presser from like what is it, Monday or Tuesday? From I think it was from Monday. Yeah, he was still on that. We're gonna make the adjustments and we're gonna try to
What
keep
adjustments?
trying to
What are they
win.
going to put into adjust? That's what I don't understand.
I know.
What they need to adjust is
Alex
the
Scott
offensive
again?
line. The only way you're adjusting that offensive line is putting the two rookies in. Everybody else you got on the team already on that roster for the offensive line is they're no better than what's out there.
Yeah.
Even the rookies. I mean, the rookies could spark something. Who knows? You won't know until you get them in there.
Yeah, and going kind of just trying to answer that point that he had about Gruden. But the thing with Gruden, like you didn't see us really starting to improve until that third year. That third year, that 2nd and third year were the years that you were seeing improvement. So, like off the bat, like you can get it done in the first year, but you got to have a lot of the pieces, or at least half of your pieces, already in place, and then you're drafting and you're getting through free agency your other pieces. And this is why Liam Cohen was able to go into Jacksonville and have that amount of success, where he's what 4-2 now, because he already had Trevor Lawrence. They went out and got a couple of guys. They start fucking winning. And that's the thing with Liam Cohen is he already had that great offensive mind. He just needed this guy. And this is the thing also why we were having this issue again, because we're having trouble bringing in, top coaches to this organization without their number one piece that will attract a coach is having a quarterback. We didn't have a quarterback, and we did not have a plan for a quarterback. And that's the thing. The plan for having a quarterback is essential, because I'm pretty sure they asked, what's your plan for quarterback? Right. Well, we don't have a plan. We're gonna let the GM or that's where you come in. You make that decision. It should have been like, we're going to go after a quarterback. We're going to go ahead
and that's one of the reasons why we didn't get Kingsbury either.
Yeah,
we had no quarterback plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What good is he if you don't have a quarterback for him to coach?
Exactly. And
that's his whole forte. I mean,
pretty sure Telesco told him, well, we're not ready for that. We don't have the infrastructure for that. Whatever his message he said from that interview, I'm pretty sure it was something similar along those lines. Like, hey, we're not at that point. Then he's like, the fuck am I gonna do here? Like, I'm just gonna waste my years. Like, cool, you guys will pay me, that's great, but I also want to win. So and Commanders came and called, and they already had like, hey, we got the number one pick. We're going after Daniels and nothing else. You'll build from there. Great.
Yeah.
That's why he's there. And that's the single common denominator why we haven't gotten any a young talented coach in here, right? That really is attributed to that. Why are we still continuing to see terrible performance? Obviously, it's because we don't make the necessary changes to improve. That's the bottom line. And we were talking about it backstage is like that perception versus reality. P has a certain perception. He's going to continue until he decides to come back to reality, he's going to continue living in his perception world. We're not going to see any real changes. I doubt anything really happens the next 2 weeks where, we'll come out looking like a different team, for that Jaguar game on November 2nd. I really, really, really doubt that. Let's see here. I'm going to ask you guys this question. I asked Jeff on Sunday, does the left hand know what the right is doing? And I don't know if you know what I mean by that, Nate. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what that means?
Elaborate. So for everybody in the chat.
For everybody in the chat. I know. Okay, you know what I mean. So basically, for what it means is that we're having a lot of miscommunication. Looks like it's pretty evident that not everybody is on the same mental wavelength on what direction or a direction this team needs to go in. And so it raises a question, who the fuck is in charge in that building? Is it Pete? Is it Spike Tech? Is it Chip? Who? Nate, I'll start with you this time. Who do you think there's an obvious problem with what's going on in that front office and just kind of having that vision of what they want for this team in the future, for the immediate future and the not so far future?
Yes, definitely, 1,000%. Because I think that Spytek's vision for the future is completely different than what Pete Carroll's vision for the future is. I think the moves roster wise say that. To me, what is happening is they are trying to compete as well as trying to build for the future at the same time. And that never works for teams that has ever tried to do that. That I don't know of any one team that's ever tried to do that across all sports leagues that's trying to compete now and build for the future while they're not really competitive at all. It's never really worked like that. You either have to completely shut it down and rebuild from the start and, start making moves for the future, realize this is not your time right now and that your window is somewhere in the future, or you go all in for the current and then just say fuck the past the future like the Rams did with fuck them picks and they got the Super Bowl out of it. It's either one of those two. And if you try to just stay in the middle and try to do both, you get stuck with what we've been dealing with, being in the right outside the top 10 or just at the 10 and missing out on big prospects in the top of the draft, and then not being a good enough team to sign the big free agents because they don't want to come here because we're not good enough yet, and then missing out on the top prospects in the top of the draft. So that is not a good combination to build a competitive team for now or for the future. So what I think Spytek was doing is he's trying to develop guys in the background. Like, okay, these are my guys. Like, we're going to go to the draft. We're going to get, all the guys that can develop into quality players. And then Pete Carroll had control of, okay, who do you want me to bring in now? Who do you think is going to be a good fit with this team now? And then all of those guys hasn't worked. And both sides haven't really worked, to be fair. Yeah. So the fact that we're not on the same page on what we want this team to be and what we want this team to be in the future, I don't think that's a good winning combination. We need to either figure out, is it a good idea to go all in now, say, fuck the Raiders picks that might be possibly good, go get, whoever XYZ, whoever it may be, to bring in and be competitive right now with the team that we have, or start, selling everybody. I don't know about Max Crosby exactly. Obviously, that's the biggest topic for everybody.
We're definitely going to get into that one, yeah.
Exactly. But I think it starts with, Jakobi Meyers. He's in the last season of his contract. He has obviously expressed that he wants to be traded. He is a high-end number 2 wide receiver, possibly low-end number 1. And we are holding on to him for what reason? We're not competitive right now. Like, I love Jakobi Meyers. I really do. I think he's a great player. But we just don't have the pieces to be where he wants right now, I think. And I don't think spending money on someone right now like that is a good idea, to be frank.
Right.
So to me, my personal opinion is we should have from the beginning of last year just gone all in on the rebuild. That's my personal opinion. Um, obviously, I drank all the Kool-Aid with Pete Carroll. I love Pete Carroll, UC, USC, fucking behind me. Of course, I was going to drink it. I knew it. I knew it. But what the Pete Carroll hiring said was that we are going to be winning right now. We're going to try to win right now. And that's what the 3 years said on his contract. That's what the trade for Geno Smith said. That's what bringing in Chip Kelly said, that we're going to try to win right now, and it just hasn't happened. So no, the left hand does not know what the right is doing.
Yeah, for sure. Really quick, shout out to my guy LS with a $5 special. He says nobody knows who's in charge. They all individually believe they are in charge, and that's the problem. They're trying to walk and run at the same time. Facts plus tax. Shout out to my guy LS. Appreciate you on the $5 special. You're 100% right, bro. There looks like there's no leadership. There's too many chiefs in the building. Nobody can make a decision that kind of falls on in one singular vision. What about you, Jeff? What do you think? Does the left hand know what the right is doing? Or do you think it's just too much?
No.
Too many guys trying to be in charge, or lack of?
I think it's too many people trying to be in charge. I think it might also be some of the players not buying into the whole system or the whole, creating this culture or whatever too. I think that might have a lot to do with it too. Some players just might not be on board, which is why you're seeing players like Jakobi asking for what he's asking for, and players like who we've shipped out already, who we've cut, Pratt being one of them, the benching of JPJ, certain things that have happened this season already, the Wilkins thing, there's been some signs that it's kind of like, it ain't all peace and love once they walk into that locker room.
Oh yeah.
I think the other thing that hurts too is you have no leadership out there on the field for players. You got Max on the defense. Who on the offense is who's your guy? It sure hell ain't Geno, because Geno doesn't act like he's the leader out there. Mm-hmm. So that has a lot to do with this too. So that affects everything down the line too. So it's not, like I've said earlier, it's not just the coaches too. The players have a lot to do with this. Like you look at some of these good teams right now, and their players are dialed in. They're believing in what's going on. Mm-hmm. And it's just, look at Chicago. Look at how they've changed since last year. How bringing in a guy like that, they made the moves needed. They beefed up their offensive line, because that was horrible last year. And look at the difference with that. You got a different head coach in there now. There's so many teams that you see them have such early success. And like, why can't we do that with an extremely veteran coach? Not just, been a head coach for a couple of years. We're talking about a guy that's been here for a long time. That's been a coach for a long time. Yeah. How is it somebody that's a brand spanking new head coach can turn a team around? Or one that's only been a head coach maybe once before, got another shot and turns a certain team around. I mean, Washington's a perfect example. Yeah. They're having a rough time right now because of injuries and shit, but they're still not that bad of a team either. So no, I don't think that. I think this internal communication is lost. Definitely. Yeah. And Chip's still sitting up in the booth. His ass needs to be down on the field.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
No more ringing the bat phone to talk to your quarterback who sucks.
Yeah.
And it would piss somebody off in the chat, whoever that Tracy Tucker was or whatever. She thought we were all so fucking negative. We're not negative. It's the facts. Some people just don't know when to take the fan hat off and just look at things from a football aspect. we're not a good team.
No.
It's not like we're bullshitting you and we're just negative about the team. Look at the chat. There ain't nobody saying anything positive about how good we are in any show, not just ours. So
to me, what the indicator here is the playing on field. That's always the indicator. That's always your benchmark, right? 31-0 is a big red fucking flag. You can't even muster up a field goal against the fucking Chiefs, which historically we've been able to at least be somewhat competitive with these guys. They ran whatever they want. They did whatever the fuck they wanted on Sunday on that field. Mahomes was so confident he took the whole fourth quarter off. Like, like it was just that type of game. It had to take them to really put these things in perspective. I mean, you would think like, okay, us getting a belt to ass from the Colts would do it. It was the Chiefs, man. And it sucks. It's even worse because it's a bitter rival. It's a heated division rival, right? And they just did whatever the fuck they wanted. And that's a big red flag for me.
Jay, let me ask
for everybody. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. When you put your son in his playpen, right, with all his toys and everything, what's he do? He just picks them up, tosses them, moves them around.
Yeah.
Picture Andy Reid sitting there with a diaper on, playing with his toys, and the toys are little Raider figurines. That's what it was like. He was just picking them up, moving them around, throwing them around. He just toyed with us the whole game. They toyed with us. It's plain and simple. There's no other way to put it. We crossed the 50-yard line once, 3 first. Just look at the stats of this game alone. Should tell you everything about our season in one game.
Yes.
That you can't even do that. And normally a rival game like that, which we all think's a rival, but our head coach doesn't, you tend to have a little bit better of a game when you play against a rival. But, I mean, the inability to do anything on offense whatsoever, and then just to lay down and play dead on defense, just the total yards alone. For what we had in total yards, Casey did twice on 2 different scoring drives. We had 92 yards total offense or something like that. They had a 95-yard and a 96-yard or 97-yard drive. 2 drives were more than our one drive was more than our total yardage for the whole fucking game. That I would have been happy if we would have gotten a field goal, to be honest with you, because we wouldn't have gotten shut out.
Yeah.
Would have been that we at least moved the ball.
At least moved the ball. I think we crossed the 50 just once. Just once. That's it. That and that's the thing. With the Commanders, we went up against Mariota, right? And it was the backup, and we're notorious for making backups look great, right? We went up against Danny Dimes. They tore us apart, right? Same thing, but we were able to kind of put up at least a few points and 2 field goals to make it kind of interesting, right? Just for shits and giggles. But this was literally like going up against like a really good team. Even this Chiefs team is probably one of the worst teams within the last 5 years. I probably would say, like, as far as how they played, their record, and everything is probably like the worst version of the Chiefs team within the last 5 years, and they fucking owned us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing at Let's keep it a question in here, and I'm laughing at it because I already know what answer I would give for it.
Go ahead.
Arnie's question is, can you name one positive stat in last Sunday's game? Yeah, Gino didn't throw an interception. That's about it.
That's it.
And AJ Cole had a good game. That's a silver lining. That's a silver lining.
That's definitely a positive stat. That's the only one I can think of. That and AJ Cole, our best player on the field, got out there 6 times. The punter.
Yeah. Facts. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a couple comments from the chat real quick. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button on all the channels. My guy, Raider Jeff, 41 Raider Jeff, and then my guy Nate, LB Raider 10. Make sure you guys go ahead and give them a subscribe. Great content. They got their show tomorrow, Raiders Coast to Coast. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit the notification on their channel, and then as of course, my next show will be Good Morning Raiders. Make sure you guys go ahead and pull up. I got Raider Primos pulling up on Saturday. It's going to be a good one. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button for sure.
And make sure you guys get over to Nate's channel tonight and watch the rest of the show on his channel. And tomorrow night when you watch us, watch on his channel.
Yeah. Hold on, I got his name. Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want to put down your link for your channel, Nate, go ahead and put that on the chat.
Gotcha.
For sure. Let's see here. Mike, shout out to EC Everett. Geno Smith got a higher PFF rating than Mahomes. Dog, I know. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's just because Gino didn't do shit. That was really the whole reason, bro. That's why I don't fuck with PFF. I'm not a PFF guy, no, for sure. There you go. See, Carlson's hamstrings got a nice raise. They did, bro. They did.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, we also shut out the Chiefs in the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's kind of what happens when you put your third string out there, for sure. Yeah. See,
I put a poll up on my channel. I'm gonna pull it down in like 5 more minutes.
Okay. Let them know the poll. What's the poll?
It's how many games are we gonna win the rest of the season? The options are 0, 1, 2, or plus 3 plus.
3 plus. Okay. There you go. I'd say 3. Let's say 3. I think we get back to 4. I put a poll up too on mine. Which team was worse, 2024 or 2025? 92% say it's this year's team.
Wow.
There you go. If you guys haven't voted already, make sure you guys go over to the channel. Go ahead and cast your vote before you go on over to Nate. Shout out to Pred. Bro, we even did better with Minshew / O'Connell and AP. We look more competitive. That's for sure. We did. We look more competitive. Oh man. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Rebel. He said Pete Carroll downplayed it and said it wasn't a big game. And facts, and that's why we got fucking creamed by 31-0 for sure. For sure. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to probably this next topic, and y'all, we were just talking about them. Does Geno sit from now on? He's still on pace to hit. It's not a record setting because we found out who did. Jameis Winston was the one who got 30, but still 25 interceptions for the season. He's still on pace to go ahead and hit that. It was 30 before, but it just kind of went down because he had a couple of games with no picks thrown, but he really didn't do shit. So there really wasn't much. But do we finally see Geno get sat, or are we still going to go ahead and continue on seeing this facade of Geno starting every game for the rest of the season? Jeff, what are your thoughts?
I don't think you're going to see him I don't think he's not going to get benched. I don't think so, unfortunately. It sucks. But I think the fact that he didn't throw an interception this past week gave him at least one more week. One more game before it might come down to that. But right now, I don't see him getting benched. He's still the best option on this roster right now to get a win, in all honesty. You look at what we're going to replace him with. Look at Pickett again. First chance he gets out there, he fumbles the ball. And again, I've talked about that. It could be a simple thing that just doesn't get a lot of time with the first team offensive line. So there's a little disconnect between him and the center. I get that part. But he was fine after that. But as far as experience and Geno's the better option, believe it or not, right now. But I mean, to spark something, yeah, it'd be great. Bench his ass and stop Pickett. I know you're not gonna like this. I know everybody's gonna give me shit, but AOC's gonna come back from injury. Throw him out there, give him a shot too. What the fuck you got to lose? Can't get any worse than what we are already. I mean, we got to do something. Something's got to break. Something's got to happen.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nate? What do you think? Do you think Geno sits or from now on, or Is it still going to be the Geno show?
Yeah, I think Geno Smith, he stays as a quarterback one. I think because we paid him and he came in here expecting to be quarterback one, and that's Pete Carroll's guy. And I mean, he has experience. I guess. I mean, like more experience than any other quarterback in our room right now. So I think that he stays for sure. At this point, really, I might take last year's Aiden O'Connell if I'm being honest. At least, like the guys seem to be playing for him. I really, or if it was AP and they're playing for him or something. It's just this team seems so unmotivated to play games on Sunday. I don't know what it is. I don't know why that is because Pete Carroll has always been one of the coaches to get the best out of his players, and so far this season he has not at all. So I do think Geno Smith does definitely stay as quarterback one. Would I like to see Kenny Pickett get more burn and more competitive, game time? I definitely would, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Really quick, a shout out to Arnie. He says, what do we got to lose to trade for Shadur Sanders for Geno Smith? Straight up, start the rebuild." And this is look, dog. This is the thing, my boy. They don't like Shador. They don't. We could have gotten Shador 5 times over. It has not happened. Will not happen so long as Pete Carroll and Josh Spytek.
31 other teams didn't like him either, so we're not alone.
Yeah.
But either way, so long as these guys are in the building, they're not going to do it. Never going to do it. Because this is the crazy thing. We gave up a 5th round pick for Kenny fucking Pickett. Was on the same team. Same team. Did not do we even did they ask for Shador? Nope, they asked for Kenny Pickett. Not gonna happen. The best scenario is to go out and draft a quarterback next year. That's gonna be the best thing.
Agreed.
Moving forward, yeah. So if Shador works out for the Browns or a different team down the line, great. I doubt he'll ever be a Raider at this point. I really do. So until these guys are here, it's not gonna happen. Does Geno sit? No, Geno doesn't sit. I think Pete and Geno's faith are intertwined. Once you officially sit Geno in a capacity where he does not start a game, that's it for him. That's essentially almost over for Geno's career as a starting quarterback in this league. Guy's like 35 years old. He don't got much miles left on him, right? And we're starting to probably see that. So the moment that you sit Geno on that official capacity where he doesn't start a game, you can kind of essentially see that Pete is admitting that he's wrong. This was a complete failure to go out and give up a 3rd round pick. On top of that, pay this guy like $75 million to be our quarterback. That's all that essentially encompasses Geno Smith right now and Pete Carroll, because this was 100% Pete's guy. Nobody can tell me different. Probably maybe Spytek signed off at the end, but I think he was kind of reluctant because everything kind of was indicative that they were looking to go ahead and bring in somebody young to go ahead and really run this offense, or at least sit behind somebody who's a veteran and learn and be the future of this team. That didn't happen. Look at where we're at now. So you'll probably see Kenny Pickett come in a couple of games like we did last time. But if that happens where Kenny Pickett or AOC starts, that's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. That's essentially where you're calling it here. Kind of moving towards that direction. I want to add and kind of sticking on that P topic. I want to ask this question, and again, we were talking about it backstage. Pete's perception versus reality. I think we've all talked about it. We're all seen in these pressers. especially those right after the game pressers. It's been a lot of the head scratching, like what the fuck are you talking about? What game are you watching? Type shit. We've seen Pete repeatedly defend Geno Smith when he's had an ass backward of a game. Ass backward. There's no other way to put it. A terrible game. We played terrible, and it always seems to surprise Pete about how bad we performed, how bad we lost. I don't know. So, and that's what we're kind of talking about is like, what world is Pete living? It has the best years really past the Pete at this point. Is he really kind of trapped in a little time loop of 2015 that he can't really get out of? Like, what's going on over there? Because it's just being really stuck in his ways and not wanting to go ahead and make changes and if something, it's not about like trying certain things. That's not the problem here. But if it doesn't work, you got to change them. And he's so reluctant to do that. It's, again, Pete's perception versus reality. Jeff, I'm a go to you. What do you think? Is it what is it with this guy that he just has this perception, man?
He's still a work in progress. Gotta have patience with him. I don't know. I honestly don't. I honestly think maybe the game has passed him by. Is it that time? Like, it was a good try, but this isn't working. I'm not saying I want us to fire him. And here's my take on this. And I kind of threw this out the other night. I think it might come down to a point where, out of just pure respect for who he is and what his accomplishments have been, the team, they're not going to want to fire him. All right. So I think it could be a simple thing that he sits down. Let's say it's Brady and it's Mark Davis, Spyteco, everybody that needs to be in that office. And they say, look, wink, wink, we want to give you the opportunity to retire, where they work some sort of an agreement with him that gets him out of that contract. And he comes out and says, and he saves face and the team saves face, where he can retire because, say, maybe I made a mistake and it's just, I'm going to retire and just go out on my terms type of thing. It saves the Raider organization from not being that team that, shit, they just fired another coach. Nope, he retired. That was his choice. But wink, wink, in the background, we all know that the option was you retire gracefully, you save face, you're able to still hold yourself high, in regards to your status in the NFL. And the team moves on and we do whatever we do to bring in somebody else. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens at the end of the season, to be honest with you. I mean, everybody's like, oh, we need a young quarterback. He's got 2 years left, guaranteed. What are we going to get with a brand new young quarterback with a head coach that's going to leave in 2 more years at this point? And I was watching Severe's show last night, and I said in his chat, I said, I concede to you. I know him and I had our little differences about Pete coming in and being the coach, and I was all for it. And because he was so negative on the age thing and everything, I said, you know what? I said, the game passed him by, I think. I see it now. I told Severe, I said, you know what? You win. I said, I'm giving you this one. I said, because I was completely wrong. I don't think he is the right fit now. I really don't. And I like the guy. I liked him as a coach when he was in Seattle, even when he was in USC and saw what he did there. I just don't think it's the right fit right now for this team. I really don't. Yeah. And I don't see it getting better this season. Not at all.
No.
Which I stopped the poll. I put the poll down.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep my poll on for the whole show. I think that's a really good question.
I can just drop it right now here. It says how many more games we win this season. 0, 47% said 0, 33% said 1, 13 said 2, and 7% said 3+, and that was out of 15 votes. Wow. And I got to go with the 0. I don't think we win another game.
I got 1.
If we do, it's going to be Cleveland. I think Cleveland
That's
is
the
the
only
best
one.
chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cleveland will be probably the one that we're able to go ahead and seal.
Yeah.
For sure. What about you, Nate? What do you think? Pete's perception versus reality, is it a real thing? Is it are we just like pulling shit out of our asses here?
It's hard to argue because, like you said, every time they come out with a press conference after games or whatever it may be during the week, oh, Geno Smith is going to get better from here. Oh, you got to trust the process. We've been trusting the process for 7-8 weeks now. Geno Smith has been not getting better every week. He's gone worse every single week. And so the fact that he continues to go out here and tell us and try to gaslight us into thinking that, things are going to get better when no changes are going to be made, that it's hard to say, oh, no, he knows what he's doing, because it's obviously not working. I am a huge USC fan. I love Pete Carroll, but it's hard to defend, especially when he's kind of tarnishing his own legacy. If this is his last, year, if he ends up retiring, or if his last contract after these next 2 years, because I don't know if he completely turns around this team in the time that he's allotted with the contract and with everything else going on. Um, it's tough. I don't want to say that the game has passed him up, because I don't think that it's him calling the shots as far as, game planning and stuff like that. Obviously, he has to work in collaboration with the rest of his coaches, but P was brought in to be the how do I say, like, to bring everyone together. He wasn't brought in to be, this mastermind of an offensive defensive mind, like, because that's never what he really was. He was the guy to bring everyone together and work in collaboration, be a good balanced team up and down the roster, and it's just not happened. So it's hard to say, it hasn't passed him up. I don't think it has just yet, but we'll see what the rest of the season has to bring.
Yeah. And I know you're an SC guy, and I'm an SC guy too, bro. But and I love Pete, bro, and I was happy that he was here, and I thought, okay, cool, we can get some shit, at least start building towards something. And it's just it hasn't been the case, and this is a thing where now we got to eat crow about it, and it is what it is. For me, I got to eat crow about it, because I don't think. I think I'm agreeing with Jeff. I think the game has probably passed them by. I think we're at that moment. It's like, you know what? It might be the better thing for you to go ahead, instead of being on the field on Sundays, to be on the couch and watch the game on Sundays. I think we've gotten to that point, Pete, and I think you need to, just enjoy the remaining years with your grandchildren, and doing the whole family thing, and focus on that. And if you want to console, you want to do other things, great. But I think we've gotten to that point where it's kind of evident that he's trying to turn back the hands of time and go back to what he knows. And and I understand. He's like, hey, this is the shit that worked for me in Seattle. But guess what, Pete? This is not Seattle. And guess what? It's 10 years later from the last time he won the Super Bowl. Things change. This sport is every year is evolving, and it's moving fast, and it's evolving rapidly. The shit that worked 10 years ago will not work now. And that's the shit that people are saying. That's the shit that we've been saying. And he just does not want to come to terms with it. We're seeing it on the field, 31-0, 40-6. I forgot what the commander score was, but it's scores like that tell you, like, it's not working. When we're barely scraping by on beating teams that we're supposed to beat and losing to a team we're not supposed to beat, it just tells you that this game is not the same game from when you were running this shit. And yes, you were in Seattle a couple of years ago, and but look at the record that they had. They weren't competitive. They weren't really competitive. And so we are starting to see it the same way. And the biggest thing here is just that he's so caught up into that, and he's so, and I understand you've done it at the highest level, and it's hard for individuals to go ahead and admit when they're wrong, especially having all those accolades.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to bite the bullet and adapt. It's an adapt or die situation. It really is, and that's what we're seeing. That's why we're seeing this team slowly die, and it sucks. It's awful, and that's why you having Raider Nation in such an uproar, because we thought that this year was the year that we're going to get better. We're not going to be great. We're not going to go ahead and be, a 12-5 team or anything like that, or playoff bound from the get go. But at least try to build towards that. But we regressed, and that's a very, very sad thing, and that's why we're all basically up in hearts, because if we as content creators and everybody on the chat as fans see the same fucking problem, it's evident that the thing that is supposed to work is not working. You got to change it. It's just, he's just so stuck in his ways. He's so stubborn, and he does not want to go ahead and admit that he's wrong. And that's why we're at the point we're at. And you're right, and Jeff, I think hits it right on the money. You don't fire a guy like Pete, and this is why. You don't fire a guy like Pete, because if that happens, our credibility, our nobody's going to want to come and coach here. It's already hard enough to get guys to come and interview. Imagine if we fire a guy like Pete. First year on the job, not even halfway through the season, he gets shit canned.
I mean, if this is the route they go, I mean, it's a smart way to put it. If you're the organization itself,
that's the best way to put it. I think this is
because again, you avoid what you just said. Like, fuck, they just fired another coach again. I mean, we have a hard enough time getting players that want to come here in free agency too. If I said this the other night, what free agent wants to come and play for this team right now? We didn't pull in any big names during the free agency this year. What did we pull in for a big name that helped the team? Anybody? I mean, come on. Nothing. We sat still. We didn't go after anybody on the offensive line. We could have gone after Becton. We could have gone after a few other players. We didn't even try. We possibly could have tried. There's no knowing. Again, who wants to come here and play for a team that's just not committed to anything? And our slogan, commitment to excellence. Then show me. Just win, baby. The two biggest catchphrases for the Raiders. Tagline. And we're neither one of those right now. We're not winning, and we're not committed to excellence. We say we're committed to excellence. The only thing that's committed to excellence is the fans. The fans are still doing everything they're supposed to do as fans, and following the team and sticking with them and promoting the Raider, the Raider Nation, and doing what you're doing by being part of different clubs and organizations and going to games, hanging out at the bars on Sundays to watch the game with other fans, showing up to games, whether it's on the road or home. How much more can Raider Nation take? I'm tired of waiting, man. I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Same.
It's just every year. It's rinse and repeat. Same shit. Every year.
Nothing changes. And that's why I put the title of the show, Continued Failure, because it is a continuation of the same failure we had last year, the year before that, and the year before that. It's just been the same thing. When is it going to change? How does it change? And that's also a question that Raider Nation is also asking, is how does it change? But ultimately, this goes into the segments. What do we do with Pete? Unfortunately, we're kind of stuck with Pete, at least to the end of the season. Because unless he decides next week or tomorrow, whatever, that he's going to go ahead and step down and retire, we're stuck with him. And for the people who say let's tank. This is the best outcome
Yeah,
for
I hate that.
Yeah, and the people who say let's fire Pete, but they want to tank, having Pete is your best shot of doing that. We don't need a tank. Teams, this is the thing, teams don't tank, fans tank, players play, and they're always going to play. And we've got to remind you, it's like you're at a job, you want to get a better job, you got to go ahead and put in time in your job to go ahead and get a better one, right? These guys are doing the same thing. They're playing for jobs next year. A lot of these guys are on a 1-year contract. After the end of the season, they're probably going to go ahead and split. I doubt a lot of these guys resign or want to get resigned.
We got almost the same number of free agents this year that we had last year. We had what, 27? We got 20 something again this year.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but none of the ones that we signed to those 1-year show me deals are going to be worth the shit coming back.
Nope.
Couple of that.
Who? Yeah. Who out of that group?
I'll probably stay. I'll probably resign Devin. It depends.
I'm sure there's going to be a couple, that played it well enough to keep them here. But Kuntz, absolutely not. I'm sorry.
No.
Nope, not even close. Yeah, and that's the other thing. It like last year, if we were going to lose games, we had to actually go out and try and lose them because we were a better run team last year. We had better personnel, I think. This year, we're just going to. I said it last year too. The same type of verbiage. This year, we're just going to organically tank because we're just that bad, and maybe we win one more. That's my take. That we win one more, but I doubt it. I think we're going to finish with 2 wins.
Yeah. The thing with Pete Carroll too is like I don't know. Could we have possibly seen it like before? Because the Seahawks did the same thing with him. They moved him out of the head coaching position in Seattle to a consulting position in the front office, and then he ended up retiring from that position. Did we just not think that's probably for a reason that they did that? Like, could we have possibly seen this, the writing on the wall and been like, okay, Pete Carroll has been out of the game for a while. He's an older coach. He would be, if we hire him, the oldest head coach in NFL history. Like, could we not have seen that coming? Obviously, Pete Carroll is a big, attractive name. I get that, and I believe in Pete Carroll. I still believe in Pete Carroll, but like
I want to.
Yeah, if it doesn't work out for his tenure, however long that may be, could it possibly have been prevented with what we've seen in the past? And also, who contacted who first? Did the Raiders contacted Pete Carroll and said, we want you to get out of retirement? Or is it Pete Carroll saying, hey, just to let you know, like, I'm available because I want to get back into coaching? Yeah. It's a big, I don't know, because, again, you go back to what the hire kind of symbolized when we got him. That symbolized that we were going to start winning now. When we had people that were interviewing, like a Ben Johnson, like you mentioned earlier with Chicago, who, if we got Ben Johnson, our expectations would have been much lower, and we would have really been like, okay, this is a rebuilding team. We're not going to be good, but at least we're going to be on the up because we're going to have a stable head coach who's going to be here for a while because he's a first-year head coach, and we're going to build in the draft, and because that's how they did it in Detroit. So he's going to bring in Detroit's kind of mentality on how to build a roster and then, work from there. But instead we go with, okay, we're going to try to win now. We're going to try to compete now because Pete Carroll is so limited on time. So that's, I don't know. It's a whole bunch of, what if, I guess. But our team, our organization hasn't been really the smartest at picking head coaches. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah. That's for sure. Man, we got a tracker for that.
Or quarterbacks either.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks.
Head coaches, quarterbacks, you name it.
Yeah, but the way I see this is again, I think we're married with Pete till the end of the season. At that point, they can sit down, reevaluate, And when I mean they, it's Mark, Tom. I don't even know if you.
More.
It's the thing that you could kind of also put the question on is even do you also marry is John Spytek married to Pete Carroll? So if Pete goes, does he go? So that's a whole other conversation itself. Or do you keep John? The thing goes on, right? So
I don't think Spytek's going to go anywhere. That's Tom Brady's guy. That
Yeah.
Brady won't let that happen. No way. I
maybe
think Spytek's here for the long haul.
I think,
Maybe.
and I see him as he has talent, and the guy can put some. Now and this is the thing because we don't know. We can say like, well, we haven't fucking the draft was shitty. We didn't draft well. Well, this is the thing. We don't know. We don't know if we drafted well. Outside of Ashton Genty, we don't know what Jack Besh is. We don't know what JJ Pegues is. We don't know what Tonka Hemingway is. We don't know what Darian Porter is.
I
Like
forget those guys are even on the team sometimes.
right?
Like,
The only one that we know that you can kind of even potentially put a label bus on is Dante Thornton. That is the one that hasn't worked out. But outside of Ashton Jetty, those two guys, we haven't seen what the other guys were able to go ahead and produce. And
Well,
that's the
we know what
problem.
the other guys are. They're not starters.
They're not
Not
starters.
right now. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that much. You know that much. They're not supposedly based on what their evaluation of them is. They're not good enough to be starters.
and that goes back to like this point is that misutilization of player positions and misutilization of players. It's just like you went out and drafted these guys. You got two linemen in the third round. That by drafting in the third round means these guys got some type of like pretty good potential, right? They have some type of talent. They might be a little bit rough, but you got something to work with there, right? But we haven't seen them yet. Same thing with Darian Porter. Like I think he started preseason. They sat him, and we haven't seen him since. And he was out there for Stokes when Stokes was injured. He did well. After that, we haven't seen him. It's always been Caillou over him. Why? And it's crazy. You're having Max Crosby go out and play coverage. It's fucking insane. You have Isaiah Polomal play free safety, which is not his strong suit. He looks terrible there. It's a lot of these moving around. I mean, JPJ is probably the most prime example. You have him play guard. You had Jordan Meredith, who literally learned how to play guard over the spring, and now he's our starting center, who's never really taken a snap at center, right? And it's shit like that. It's shit like that raises the questions with Pete on his perception, on just like what's if it's still there. I don't
Well,
know.
I
I
know. I
doubt it.
want whatever Rebel's smoking. It is. It's, oh,
Which one?
you see it?
No, which one? Because
It's a good size one. It was like maybe like within the last 2 minutes. It's towards the bottom.
the 8 wins.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that one.
All right. Shout out to Rebel. He says Raiders win eight
Sorry,
out of the
Rebel, my God, but damn,
eight out
dude.
of the next 10 games, 8-2 if they fire Chip and Pete, make PG the coach, and AOC the QB the rest of the season. I know, dog. That must be some good shit, dog. 8-2. Fuck.
That was good. I like that.
Let's just throw out the whole
That
playbook. Oh man, that's funny. But let's move into really the juicy part here. Trade talk, right? So we're in the bye week. The trade talks have been flowing this week, and I just saw something that I'm gonna go ahead and put up and kick off first before we get into the taboo one. And y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Let's see here. All right, cool. I just saw this a few minutes ago. I guess this was posted earlier today. This is in regards to Tyree Chase Senior putting out there. Raiders defensive end Tyree Wilson is popping up as a potential 49ers trade target Interesting
Bye.
name. He's been a bust since getting drafted by the Raiders 7th overall, but he's a freaky athlete at 6'6", 263. Niners defensive line Chris Kurek has been able to revive the careers of Arden Key, Charles Menu, and Cleveland Farrell. Could he do the same with Wilson, using him as defensive end and defensive tackle? Wilson has reportedly been unhappy in Vegas for a while. No, Chris went to Texas Tech, which is where Wilson went, and some familiarity there. Possibly, he's saying that he thinks that the Niners could get him for a fourth round pick. I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? This is the first time I see anything pop up on Tyree. I've always wished it, but I never thought
I never thought he was a wanted player.
Seriously. Yeah, I've always wished.
Guess what? Take it and run, man. Give him. Yeah, take him, because it'll probably be the only chance you get something for him. Let him go.
John Spytek, if they fucking call you, you pick up that phone and you say yes, and just go.
We'll take a lot of Dunkin' iced coffee for him. I don't give a shit. This is one less person on it. One less guy on the roster we have to sit there and keep talking about. This guy sucks. We can't get him. He's just not showing anything. Why are we still dealing with it? Just go. See you later.
Coach is like, take it down. There you go. Facts, bro. Facts. That's what I'm saying. What are your thoughts, Nate? Just kind of reading this.
Yeah, I think we should definitely take it. Yeah, that's really it. He hasn't really done anything to really want to keep him here, to be honest, besides my jersey and the freaking signed picture back there. That's it. That's really all he's done for Vegas.
Yeah. So. Fucking Arnie throwing Geno Smith.
Pred is like, give him a free water boy in that tree for Tyree. There you go.
The one thing that sucks about this, though, in all honesty, it's a first round number 7 overall pick that we're talking about, and we're gonna get garbage back for him. I guess garbage is better than nothing. But it's like you're losing that value of that pick from that season, which sucks. It's like another wasted pick, another one of those wasted picks that we've done through the years. Mm-hmm. The only thing you can sit there and say is at least it's not this current regime that's in charge. It's not their pick. They didn't make this. It wasn't their faux pas.
Yeah, it's an inherited one.
Yeah, it's an inherited player. It just sucks that, that's what it's going to come down to. I wish it would have worked out, because then I don't feel like we would have wasted a draft pick. To this moment, I still feel like we've wasted a draft pick. This is the most I've seen from him since he's been with the team.
Yeah.
As far as him being involved in plays this year. But go back and watch some of those plays. A lot of the shit fell in his lap. Like the running back just happened to make a cut and he happened to be standing there, or the quarterback trying to run for it, and he runs smack dab into him, and he gets a sack out of it. Yeah, so his numbers might look a little better, but it was just the fact of him being in the right place at the right time. Not because of his athletic prowess to get him to where he was to make an impact,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So, hey, if a team becomes a call-in, fuck it, I'll take it. 4th? Sign me the fuck up, bro. I mean, take a 5th. I'll take a 6th, bro. Honestly, whatever I can get for Tyree. I'm not even fucking around. I'm not even joking. Whatever you can give me, I'll take it. Let's move on to probably the one that's been going around, that's been talked about for a few weeks now. Jakobi Meyers. This came out. There's a 61%.
You saw the side eye, Nate?
Yeah, I seen it.
61% chance to be traded by the deadline.
805.
Keep Tyree. Shout out to 805. He's like, keep Tyree. He's our only comic relief when watching game film. I know, Don. Then
unblock Tyree's a superstar, Hall of Famer.
Oh, for real.
And who else are you gonna go ahead and rest it on, man? That's funny. Yeah, but he is a 61% chance to be traded by the November 4th deadline. I think it's a foregone conclusion. I don't see him
Oh, he's
here
gone.
finishing out
I agree.
the rest of the season with us. I'll be surprised if he does. But I'm asking you guys this question: who do you think is going to go ahead and trade for him? Jeff, I'll start with you. Who do you think is going to be
I've
his
already
landing
said it. New England. New
New
England's
New
the
England?
first team that comes to mind for
Mhm.
2 reasons. One, goes back to his original team, and two, he's only in Vegas because of McDaniels. He'll go back to McDaniels. They're hurting for a wide receiver. He fits that mold for them perfectly for his scheme that he runs with his offense over there. It's an absolute perfect fit for him. You know, do I like it? No, because I hate the Patriots, and the last thing I want to do is see them get another piece of the puzzle that helps them win more. Fuck them.
Mhm.
But I just think I think that would be the only way that he would agree to a trade is if it's to there, to be honest with you. Now, what do we get in place for him? I'm thinking at least a 4th rounder with conditions.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be one of those worded contracts where if the Patriots make it X amount of far in the playoffs and he is part of X amount of percentage of offensive snaps for the rest of the time that he's with the Pats for this season, that could move up to like a 3rd round pick, which I'm all for that. I would take that because I think they've got a good chance to go further this year with this team. The way they're
Yeah.
playing now, I think that's exactly what's going to happen with them. And the fact that they're definitely the number 2 team in that division right now, and they've already beat Buffalo, first of all, but the Dolphins suck, the Jets suck. So it's between them and Buffalo. So they're going to either win the division or they're going to be a wild card. So they're going to probably make the playoffs. So if that's
Yeah.
part of the conditions and we get a 3rd pick for it, I'm 3rd rounder. I'm all for it. Totally all for it. I don't see any other team that can offer what they're going to give for us, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I really don't.
Okay. What about you, Nate? What do you think is going to be his next landing spot if we trade Jakobi?
I do think that I do see him going to the Patriots, but I think that the Niners or the Steelers are the 2 teams that I think he could possibly go to. The Niners, their wide receiver group has been injured and they have not performed. So I think if you bring someone in like Jakobi Meyers, who is a consistent wide receiver year in and year out, I think that's someone they should go after. The Steelers don't really have a receiving threat outside of DK Metcalf, so I think that's another good get. And then it would open up the passing game for both guys, either guys. If you want to double DK or if you want to try to cover Jakobi, it would open up the opposite guy. Oh, another team that I think would be smart to get him would be the Bills. I think the Bills would be really smart to get Jakobi Meyers, but I don't think it's as possible as the
I didn't
Niners
even think of
or
that.
the
That's a good one,
Steelers.
actually. That's a good one, Nate. I didn't even think of Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
but my 2 are definitely the Niners or the Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think it's the Steelers, and I think we'll probably get a conditional 4th, but probably like a 5th
Mm-hmm.
round, like Dixon was saying. I forgot about Devo. They got a 5th round. They got a 5th round pick for him, and Devo
Yeah.
was pretty cool. He had a few injuries. That's probably also why he got that. They gave him that 5th too, because they're like, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this dude, but I don't think it's more than a 4th.
Yeah.
And if we find a really like needy team that we can go ahead and fleece for a 3rd, fuck yeah, that'd be great. But realistically, I don't think it's gonna be a 3rd round pick for him. It's gonna be a 4th, probably a 5th. That's kind of what it's looking like right now.
Well, the other
I
thing
agree.
with him, too, is you got to go, you can't really go based on what he's done this year, is what it looks like, too. You got to look at what he
Right.
did last year with a full season. 0 drops last year. He stepped up when Devontae was gone. So, I mean, you got to look at those intangibles with him. So it's not so much what he's done this year. He's not injury prone. That's the other thing that's bonus for him. So he may get more than what Debo. He may go for a 4th instead of some people, like they just said, Debo went for a 5th rounder, but Debo's been injured on and off. He's a totally different type of player too. You know, Jakobi's a pure receiver, you know, and he gives you that emergency back quarterback too if you really need it, you know. So he is valuable in that aspect too. Whereas Debo, which is why he gets injured sometimes, is because he does run the ball a lot, and he's a big, stronger dude too. So he's out there taking some serious hits, whereas Jakobi's not. You know.
Yeah.
And
For
I think
sure.
Jakobi's a better blocker out there too. That's another thing you got to look at too. He's a
Yeah.
better blocking receiver than Debo.
Yeah, for sure. And then moving on to probably the biggest news that's hit this week that we've talked that me and Jeff had talked about on yesterday on Leo's show. You said we got yelled at. I don't know if I got yelled at, but I was just like, whatever, bro.
I made one comment. You responded back with two, and then Leo's like, "Save it for tomorrow." I'm like, I only made one comment.
I was just like, bro, I'm like, they said already this is not gonna happen. So I'm just like, okay, whatever, right? And then I don't know, bro, whatever. Either way, it's you know, it is what it is. The biggest thing here is that unless you guys tuned out of social media yesterday, you had teams calling for Max, and it came out that the Dallas Cowboys actually inquired for Max's availability if he's on the trade block or not. And obviously that didn't happen, but that didn't matter. The rumor mill just blew off. The top blew off, and then you got everybody saying everything and whatnot. But I'm gonna go ahead and put everybody's mind at ease right now, and just let everybody know. Okay, well, there we go. That per Tom Pelissero, the Raiders met with Max yesterday, and they let him know they are not shopping him and they won't trade him. Per Slater NFL. He goes on to say there's other teams that are interested.
Yeah.
The Raiders aren't interested in moving their best player, and Crosby wants to stay in Las Vegas. Now, I've heard Jeff.
And we didn't fire Pete Carroll. He retired. Wink, wink.
We're gonna get your take. Trust me. We won't let you talk. I want to hear Nate's thoughts on this because I haven't heard really Nate's position on this, on whether he feels Max should be traded or not. You know, so I'm gonna start off with you, Nate. What are your thoughts about moving away from Max? Are you happy that you're hearing that he's not going to go anywhere? What's your whole position on this?
I'm listening, but I got to go to little girl's room. Hold on.
All
right. Honestly, to me, it doesn't make sense for us to trade Max Crosby right now. One, he's going to be at his lowest trade value that he's possibly ever been with. He just got injured. We don't know the extent of his injuries yet exactly either. It's obviously been a bad year across the board for every Raiders player. So statistically, he has not been great. Obviously, the play on the field and, Max Crosby, the name, of course, everyone's going to definitely want to get Max Crosby. But it just doesn't make sense because, again, it goes back to us hiring Pete and us wanting to compete this season as well as the next two for as long as we have Pete.
Yeah.
If we want to continue to compete while Pete is here, it makes no sense to trade your best player and your biggest asset to be able to win games, which is Max Crosby right now. It just doesn't make sense. If you want to tell your team that you are trying to bring in what I believe he said, we want more Max Crosby's on this team as well. Mm-hmm. And then you trade a guy like Max Crosby away, that completely loses the entire locker room. Completely. You might lose the entire organization at that point. So it doesn't make sense for us to trade Max Crosby, as well as I don't want to trade Max Crosby because, he is one of our best players, obviously probably our best player. So again, if this would have been in a different direction, say we got, whatever head coach that is younger and we know is going to be here, and they told us up front, like, hey, we're going to be a rebuilding team. We're not going to be very good. We're going to start, dismantling the roster and starting from scratch. Then you can, as I believe as a nation, we can swallow that pill a little bit easier because we understand that it's for the betterment of the team. But no, when you come in here starting to preach like we're going to win 10 games, we're going to be competitive, we're going to, be a good team for the foreseeable future. And then just because it doesn't work that way, or it hasn't worked that way yet, you trade your voice of the team, your franchise superstar. Again, you're gonna lose your entire locker room, and that's just not a way to go about it, in my opinion. So I don't think Max gets moved. I think the reason why, I think it's smart of them to shut down all of the rumors as well, like nip it in the bud completely, because again, if that stuff starts to get out into the locker room, we've already seen what happened with Pratt. We've already seen what's going on with JPJ. If you haven't lost the locker room already, that is going to definitely lose it. So I think it was smart on the Raiders' point that they nipped it in the bud now.
Yeah, for sure. Before I get to Jeff, I'm gonna go ahead because I'm gonna give Jeff the floor here, and he's gonna go ahead and make his point, and that's good. But I want to make this point before he gets to his, because I want to put this in perspective. And I trust me, bro. I'm on the same boat with you. For me, Max is the heart of the team. He's the face of the franchise. Yada yada yada. As soon as the case in point, if it can't prove it to you anymore, is that once Max went down on Sunday's game, fucking the defense literally quit. That doesn't go to show you that he's that hard of the team. But for one, yes, he's the franchise guy. Two, this fan base loves him. And it's trust me, you'll have this fan base fucking revolt, majority of them, right? But this is the biggest point here, because I get everybody's point that we need to go ahead and get draft capital and whatnot, yada yada. I heard that already. I heard, and I see Jaws comment here that locker room is lost already. I don't know if it's lost, but it's heading towards that direction. It really is. But the thing here is, we're going to run into the same situation that we did with Carr. And I'm put up Dave's point here. If we let Max go, we're going to get worse. We're going to run into the same situation we did with Carr. Why? Because there's no successor. Who are we going to go ahead and turn towards? Look towards Kuntz, Tyree, really? There's no successor in that team. There's no guy to take Max's place. And this is and I'm make this case in point. When we let go of Khalil Mack, the next year we got lucky and we hit Max. That was a lot. By luck, we got that. 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. If we're gonna go ahead and really make this move down the line, you got to go ahead and have somebody there who's going to be able to go ahead and carry that cross, continue going forward. There's nobody there. We need it. If we're going to go ahead and eventually move on from Max, or we feel bad, he needs to go ahead and get his ring somewhere else, whatever, cool. Draft your guy. Draft an edge. Let's draft an edge. Then we can go ahead and say, like, look, this guy has potential. This guy might be the next guy. Cool. We can go ahead and make that. Let's go ahead and get 2 first, or let's go ahead and get 3 first. And this is the thing. Somebody was saying, if you get 3 first, wouldn't you do it? Okay, cool. I don't think that's what Dallas offered.
No.
I doubt it, because if not, there probably would have been a different story, right? Maybe. But either way, if you're going to rebuild, if you're going to go ahead and tear this shit down, you still need some pieces here in order for you to go ahead and rebuild. And we only have a few pieces: Brock, Ashton, Max. You could possibly put JPJ in that category. But trust me, if we start completely from zero, meaning you're going to just fire sell everybody, and just start from anew, we're going to continue being bad for many, many years to come.
Yeah.
That's just facts. You need to have some pieces in place already in order for you to go ahead and build together from. I don't know. That's the point that I want to go ahead and put out there. It's just like we need to have something already in place, somebody there that can, continue carrying that cross if we decide to move Max, moving forward. And for me, it's if he wants out, cool, let's make it happen. But until then, I'm not moving him.
Yeah. It was like when it was like when John Gruden traded Khalil Mack, and then he was like, "Oh, you know what? A pass rush would be nice." Well, sir, you fucking had one, like, and then you let him go. So yeah.
All right, Jeff, I give you the floor. Everybody's on the let's clip Max thing. Cool,
plain and simple.
Cool.
Plain and simple. No players off the market. Every player should be available regardless. That's it. They call every player on that 53-man roster and on the practice squad should be fair game. If somebody calls with the right offer, you take it. Plain and simple. I don't care who it is. And number one, you don't build your team around a defensive end. If you're building your team around a defensive end, that's ridiculous. You don't build around a defensive end. You build around your star offensive player, which would be a quarterback, which we don't have. You don't build starting with a defensive end. That's what you're already failing right there. Okay. Second, what the hell was I going to say now? Oh, I know what. Fans need to stop falling in love with players. That drives me nuts. What did he say?
Why can't we build around Max and a new QB?
You got to pick one or the other because you're going to have to invest money in either one of them. You can't have the money to invest in both, which means you have to invest the money in an offensive line, wide receivers, and everything to protect that quarterback. The defense is going to have to come along, or vice versa. If you want to build around Max, go for it. You're going to have a great defense. Sucks if we can't put points on the board because we got no way of moving the damn ball. What you just saw last week is you're going to see going forward going on with the way this offense is set up. But fans fall in love with a player, and then that's when it starts with we love Max too much. Stop falling in love with a guy. Take the fan hat off. Look at it from a football aspect again. That's what we need to do with this team. You want to blow it up? You want to get better fast? You want to get better sooner or get better, period? Then we need the draft picks, man. Draft picks, we got to do something. Something needs to change. Something needs to break. Plain and simple. And the old feeling of, we never have success with the draft picks. Stop that shit, too, because that's getting annoying, too. You're constantly hearing that crap all the time. We've never had good history with draft picks. It's going to work out at some point. It worked out way in the past. It worked out mediocre in the middle. Lately, it hasn't been that great because it's not going to work great when you have to keep changing coaches, quarterbacks, offensive line, everything else that you're trying to accomplish. You have to keep changing everything all the time. With a coaching regime and GM changes all the time, there goes your scouting team. So you're not even getting stability out of your scouting squad, okay? So how are you properly evaluating any of this talent in the first place if you keep changing coaches and your staff and everything else? You got no continuity. That's where this all starts. And it just
so then Max has to be the fall guy for that problem?
Huh?
Max has to be the fall guy for that problem. That's not his fault.
No, but he's the best way to get more for your buck. That's what's going to end up coming down to it. I'm not saying to go out and actively shop him. And people got to get that out of their head too. People have a misconception of what I'm saying.
I understand that.
I'm not saying call teams up and say, hey, what do you want to give us for him? Yeah. I'm saying, and just like I said before the draft started, when I started talking about maybe it's time to look at letting Max go. If a team calls leading up to the draft, like Detroit, even though they pick later in the draft, but if they call up and say, hey, what would it take for us to get Max from you? Well, what are you offering? Offer me what you want to offer, and then we'll go from there. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if a team calls, you fucking listen. And if it's too good of a deal to pass up, you don't pass it up.
I don't
Plain and
think
simple.
there's not an offer that an NFL team is going to make for Max Crosby that it's going to be an absolute yes. I don't think there's that offer out there because I think that the Raiders have been so bad they're going to try to take advantage of how desperate we're going to be with Max Crosby, try to get a steal on him, and
Well,
I
that's why
don't
you
think
don't.
that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why you keep that narrative of we don't want to let him. We're not trading him. He wants to be here. You keep that narrative so everything seems like everything's a-okay when we know it's probably not. Because deep down inside he wants to win in the worst way. He doesn't want to be in the position that
He's a
he's in right
competitor.
now.
He's a player.
Yeah.
Constantly being on a losing team, knowing that he's a good talent. Would you want to stay on a team like that if you were the top player all the time and you're getting paid you're getting money? Yeah, you're getting your money, but what good is it when you only win 2 games the entire season or 4 games the entire season? You want that playoff money. You want that chance to put some emphasis on your name and add to your legacy as a player. Well, you ain't going to do that with this team. Not anytime in the very near future either.
So this is the thing. This is the thing, and I understand about getting the draft capital and whatnot, getting more for your buck. I would agree with you on that part. If we knew how to fucking draft, if we prioritize drafting a QB first, the last 3-4 years we have not done that, and that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Until we take us drafting our future seriously, and I'm talking about drafting a quarterback from either the first or third round, anywhere in between there, drafting a quarterback until we find our guy, we're never going to succeed. You're right. We should draft behind a quarterback, but we don't because we don't take that position seriously. For whatever fucking reason, we always want to go ahead and band-aid that problem. We think we can go ahead and find the next Rich Gannon, and that's going to be the savior to our fucking season, And it's not. It has not worked out. It rarely does, right? I mean, unless you have the right pieces in place, which is just getting that quarterback is going to make all the difference, then it might possibly work. But you still need to draft a quarterback. Nonetheless, all these teams are doing it. You're right. And I agree with you on this part, Jeff. We need to stop with the it hasn't worked in the past bullshit. We need to draft a quarterback. Yeah. We have to do it. How the fuck is all other 31 teams having success at getting a quarterback and finding a quarterback where we have not? They're doing something right.
Stability.
Yes.
It's called stability in your team. So your front office personnel, like I'm talking like your scouting teams and shit like that, the guys behind the scenes that nobody talks about that have a huge impact on an NFL team. If you keep changing everything year in and year out, how are you going to have accurate information from year to year? Like right now, we've got the guy that we brought in from Philly. Okay. So when he got to us, it was right around draft time. But all those reports were already done because the college season was already over. So it was the scouting staff from 2024 that did all that scouting. And how good was their scouting? Who knows? But now you got this guy that came in from Philly. So this is where you're going to see his impact is from here on. You're going to see it from what he's going to be able to evaluate with his staff and what the scouting team's going to do now based on the talent that's playing in the college level now, which will lead to the draft then. So you're going to see what he can do for us. They may surprise us comes the draft and finally maybe shake off that bullshit of, we've never done good in the draft before. We don't know, like you just said, and like I said, stop that shit.
Yeah.
Be positive going forward. If things stay and we stop mixing players and coaches, not mixing players, but the staff and everything, you need that even keel, and we just don't have that. We haven't had stability in years now.
Yeah.
And what's the fix? I don't know. I don't know what the fix is. Is Pete Carroll the right one for us right now? Right now, the jury's still out right now. They're still deliberating.
Yeah. It don't look good, though.
It doesn't. No. No, the verdict's going to come down. It's the death penalty at this rate because
he did it to himself, though. He did it to himself for
yeah,
sure.
it's not looking good.
I'm gonna put this comment up from Ja real quick. He says the only thing I'm worried about with P is draft. He don't draft a quarterback first round. He has skipped his whole career. I do hope Spytek is full control of the draft, to draft a franchise QB. And this is the point I want to go ahead and make. And this is kind of going back a little bit to does the left hand know what the right is doing? Who's in control? And this is where this is where we go partly wrong. This is where you could cast a little bit of blame to Mark. Normally, most teams hire the GM first. The GM is the one who makes the head coach hire. We don't fucking do that. We do it the other way. We hire the head coach first, and then we bring on the GM. And that's how this relationship came to be yet again, right? So we're in this position. Now, even if it would have went the other way, I don't know how much Spytek could have really, controlled Pete, in other words, right? Because Pete's Pete. Pete's accomplished. He's just the fucking snot-nosed kid from Tampa Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But somebody has to be in control here. And it should be Spytek. He's the GM. He should be in control of this roster. He should be in control of this draft. He needs to just let him know, hey, I need X. I need this position filled. All right, cool. Let me get to work. He's the one normally that puts these things in place. And that's the thing that I don't feel comfortable moving on from Max, especially if he doesn't want out. But most importantly, when we don't have the put quarterback first mentality in this draft. Until then, I don't want Max being moved. I want what's so big. I don't want him to be moved because there's no point in getting multiple draft picks if we're going to go out and get a receiver and get a defensive, and it's not a quarterback. The fuck are we doing? What the fuck was the point of doing all that, right?
I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with that. But I think a lot of people need to really understand what a GM's job is. If you don't understand the role of a GM, I implore you to go and watch the movie Draft Day. That's the best example of it right
GM.
there. Huh?
It's a fake GM.
It's a fake GM, but it's on that same idea as what I'm getting. So you get a better understanding.
Yeah.
Your GM's job is to get the players that the coach's job is to coach the team, meaning you develop the playbook with your coaches. You take the players that I'm getting for you for the positions that you need for, you make it work. I do my job. I get you the players. You do your job. You put them on the field. You get them to go where they need to go and what they're supposed to do. So we win. That's how it's supposed to be. Head coaches should not be involved in the whole draft process. I'm sorry. Yeah, they should have input. I'm not saying they should sit there mute and not say anything. They should have input. But it's up to the GM and his squad to do the work on finding out who's best fit for what the coach needs.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to take over.
Don't lie. You would take over the offense or the defense.
Bro, yes. Coach 805 will just revolutionize this.
I'll just fucking work security.
Hey, he would have everybody on fucking game field review 10 fucking a.m. 8 a.m. nice and fucking early right after the game. Y'all fucked up. Game review 8 in the morning. We're gonna see what the fuck we did wrong. See, fucking have everybody on their ass like that. Love it.
So I mean, the short of this is I'm not actively saying we need to trade Max. That's not the narrative. My thing is, like I said earlier, if somebody's looking and they call, you listen, and if it's good, you take it. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And somebody mentioned it earlier. Look what Detroit did when they traded away Matthew Stafford. Look what they turned that into over their time frame. And look where they are now. They're competitive. They've been close. And I all the credit
to the number one overall quarterback back. I think
they basically did a swap, and it worked out great for them because they got Jared Goff. and they were just wrong for each other's systems. And once they got
Yeah.
traded, they ended up working out. Both of them lucked out and worked out great. And that's again that doesn't happen that often,
Yeah,
right?
but what I'm getting, but like what they said in the chat too, is they still built their team through the draft. They still brought in players to complement that quarterback. You know, so if we're able to trade Max for a
Yeah.
quarterback at the end of the season before the draft,
What quarterback would you trade for, though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever's out there. Would you take Joe Burrow for him?
That's it.
Okay, now we're living in Madden world. Now we're living in Madden world.
That's even if they
Let's
want
relax.
to do that.
Yeah, but in all honesty, you got to look at you got to look at the two options.
What do you mean?
You got to look at the health for both of them. Joe Burrow's been out more than he's been in lately. Unlike Max, Max was out last year for half the season. He's out right now because of a bad. That was a roll up. That wasn't like he did something stupid. He got rolled up on.
Oh yeah.
You know, but seriously, if Cincinnati said, "Hey, you know, well,
there is no world Cincinnati even calls us for that reason to give away Joe Burrow." No.
What if he wants out? What if he wants out? You don't know that.
You're not trading for Max Crosby. That's the problem. You're not trading Joe Burrow for Max Crosby.
They're gonna have a high draft pick.
You said it yourself. You're not building around a D end. Why would you trade your one overall quarterback who has put up numbers when he's been on the field for?
Because they'll get one in the draft because they're gonna have a low end draft pick. They're gonna have an early draft pick too.
They're a better team than us right now.
Huh?
They're a better team than us right now.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna go ahead. I know we've been on the trade talk for a minute, but I also want to go ahead and put this out there because I've heard this too.
Oh, I heard
JPJ also be on the trade block, and this is carrying a little bit more steam as we progress because it's evident that Pete, Chip, this fucking regime for whatever reason, I think it's mostly Chip and Pete don't fucking like this guy, and we talked about it. Is I don't know what was done. I don't know what was said. There's theories coming out of different places. Could have been from the Genty commercial when there was the schedule release from that comment. Could be something personal that's been going on in the locker room. I don't know. But do you think JPJ could actually get traded? Do you think that actually would happen? Like they would trade away our best lineman?
I think so.
Do you think it's possible, Nate?
I definitely think it's possible, considering that the fact that they're trying to find any possible way to not even play him. I think it's very possible they move on from JPJ, but I don't want to. I don't understand it. Why they are trying to find excuses to not play JPJ, because he has obviously been our best offensive lineman since Colton Miller has been out. Even before Colton Miller, you could probably even put him up there with Colton Miller, saying that, you know, they're probably 1A, 1B in our best offensive line on an offensive line that has not been good across the board. And they're trying to replace him with Alex Kappa, who was the worst guard in football last season, the absolute worst.
He ain't doing any better this season either.
Exactly. So it makes absolutely no sense for us to move on from JPJ, but because everybody's ego is so big and everyone's head can't fit in the same building, JPJ is going to be on the out. That just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make sense.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? Do you think?
I mean, you're talking on the weakest unit on this team right now is the offensive line. The last thing you want to do is lose the one guy that you think is the best, right? He's definitely, and still, I think he's the best offensive lineman right now on that starting.
I will put this out there. We literally released Pratt, the best linebacker in that room, for nothing.
Yeah,
but he didn't want to play special teams.
I know, right?
That's the rumor that he didn't want to play special teams.
Prerequisite if you got to play special teams.
But if I stick to my beliefs, no player is off the market. I mean, off the table. Every player is up for grabs. You know, again, same thing with JPJ. If it's going to add some cohesiveness to what's going on, because you said it already, there's something going on. There's definitely something there. You know, my other thing is I know I've said this on our show before too. Maybe he's not as good as we think he is. I don't know. Maybe they don't think he's as good as we all think he is,
I think
which is why they're giving him so much shit. And I think it sucks that that's the way he's being treated. You know, my biggest I don't think he's been playing that bad. My biggest thing is Glaze. I don't know what the fuck happened to Glaze since last season.
Yeah. And
He's in the wicked sophomore slump.
Oh yeah, I honestly I put that on coaching 100% because I know for a fact once he started showing that regression, if you would have had a good coach, that shit would have been taken care of by now. Like you would have seen a better version of Glaze, but it's because we don't have the best offensive line coach. This is the type of fucking shit that you're seeing, and it won't change. And it's actually a disservice. It's organizational malpractice to allow that. That you drafted this guy. He literally took somebody's fucking job last year and kept it. He has potential, but he's not going to get any better until the coaching gets better, and that's the sad part. So,
I blame Brandon Cowell 100% on all the offensive line issues.
Yeah.
Because we pretty much had the same offensive line as last year, and when Philbin took over the offensive line, they looked great. This year, they've got his son in there, and they look absolutely atrocious. From the very first preseason game, from there on, it hasn't gotten better. It has not gotten better at all since the preseason game one. I've not seen an improvement. They've all been status quo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the only time they look decent, somewhat decent, is when they're going up against an inferior defensive line. You know, and that was the Patriots week 1 and Tennessee 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
As soon as they get any type of pressure, look what happened with the Chiefs. Chris Jones was just destroying them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
For sure. For sure.
The Colts lit us up. That front line of that defense on the Colts, man, they were everywhere that game.
Oh, yeah. They did.
It's so much faster.
That was crazy.
I'm just tired of it.
I know. Me too. Before I go on to my next segment here real quick, appreciate everyone pulling up and tapping in with us. We have over 60 in the building. Salute to everybody here rocking with us on this Wednesday night. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button on this show, on all the 3 shows, Just Raiders Baby, 401 Raider Jeff, LV Raider 10. Make sure you guys go ahead and give all my guys some love here. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. We have shows during the week, so make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for those as well. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to go ahead and hit you guys with this. Obviously, 2-5. 2-5. It's a dismal season.
It's so painful to say, isn't it?
It is. I can't accept it, and it's hard, but it is what it is. But who do you cast blame to this? I mean, does this fall on Pete, Chip, Spytech, all 3? I don't know. Who do you put the finger on? I'm gonna ask you, Jeff. I'm gonna go with you first. Because for me, it's all 3.
I think it's all 3, but it starts at the top, man. When you're the head top dog, you know, I mean, he really has no control over what Spytech does. So that kind of separate entities there. But Chip is under Pete, and that's on Pete to, you know, get on Chip's case or do whatever he needs to do to, you know, hey, wake up. You know, what are we doing here? You know, that or it's Pete getting in the middle of shit and he shouldn't be. You know, is Pete butting his head in there on the offensive side of it? It's like, stick to the defense if you're going to do anything, or just do what you do as a head coach and you manage everything, and let your OC and your DC handle the game planning. You know, you stay out of it. You know, for once, let them do. Let's see what they can do. But again, it falls on him. He's top dog. Start to the top.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nate? Who do you think this falls on?
I think everyone does share blame as well. if I had to choose who deserves the most, probably Pete Carroll for, again, and it all goes to us making changes. Nobody wants to make any kind of adjustments anywhere. And that's not even only him, that's Chip Kelly as well. Chip Kelly doesn't want to make any adjustments on how he calls plays, on how he wants to run the offense. And then Pete Carroll doesn't want to tell his offense and defensive coordinator, hey, let's do something different. Let's make a different game plan. Let's do, I don't know, whatever it may be to help this team get on a winning track. Because we've seen the same stuff, the same type of play calls on the same type of downs, the same kind of performance on defense, on offense. And it's not working. And we're not doing anything different from week to week. It looks like the same Raiders just, continue to play the same weeks. Like, there is no progression. It has to be, something has to be done. And to me, it does start at the top, like Jeff was saying, with Pete Carroll, because he's the one that's running everything, to be frank. And if he's not the one to say anything, then nothing is going to be said or done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts. To me, it goes on all. For me, it's all three. It's just one for just not being competent. Two, just one for being egotistical, and the third one just being a pushover, bro. I mean that really what sums it up. And nobody can agree on anything. Nobody is aligned with the vision. There is no vision. Everybody has their own, version of their vision, but nobody can get on the same page. And that's why we're also at where we're at. And I don't see anything changes until everybody gets aligned. And until that happens, we can actually start building a team. But until then, it's not going to happen. It's just not. And that kind of takes me to my next point here is this basically, is this season over, or is it salvageable? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this?
Well, what do you consider over? I mean, are you still thinking we're going to make the playoffs, or when you say the season's over, I mean, like, are you asking, are we going to win any games the rest of the way, or? I'm trying to understand what you mean by season is over, or is it salvageable?
Or is it salvageable, like meaning that we're going to be able to go ahead and put some wins together and look at least somewhat decent out there, or is this, that's it? We're done.
Are we going to get a bunch of new offensive linemen during the bye week? If not, then I don't think it's salvageable at all. I think we're going to have the same results the rest of the way based on our schedule. It's not an easy schedule the rest of the way, man. Not at all. Mm-hmm. Every team that's on that list is rocking right now, except for Cleveland. And Cleveland's still going to be hit or miss.
Yeah.
We still got 4 games in our own division yet. 2 against the Broncos, the Chargers, and 1 more against the Chiefs. Yeah. So there's 4 games right there that we're probably not going to win. We might pull one out, but it's a reality that we're going to probably go 0-6 in our division again. And that pisses me off more than anything. So I don't care if we didn't win another game the rest of the season. If as long as we went 3-3 in our division, at least hit 500, I would have been okay.
We're 0-2 right now. So it's
fucking 0-2.
But if that's how you're feeling, that's how you're thinking, is it time to start evaluating talent? I think, have we come across that time to go ahead and see what we got there? Because, I mean, I don't know.
I'll let Nate take that one first.
There you go.
Well, first, to answer the first question, do I think it's salvageable or if it's over? I think it could possibly be salvageable if, things change. If things, like, we start to act like we want to be more competitive in games, because I think this team has the potential to progress, like to be better than what it is obviously right now. Because last week was the worst of the absolute worst, I think, that it could possibly get. And I think that, again, it just all kind of depends on what your expectation for salvageable, and and everyone's gonna have a different opinion on that. To me, salvageable at this point of the season is just to be more competitive in games, to look better. And yeah, I knew someone was gonna say something like that, of course, but I think the point of the season for the rest of the year is to just get better. Like let's get better as a team. Let's look more complete as a team. I don't think the goal is to win games anymore, because at this point and looking down the barrel of our schedule, it's going to be tough to do that for sure. So I think the point from here on out has to be, okay, can we progress in being a more complete team? Can we progress in being a better coach team? That's where I think it's kind of come down to. Let's keep practicing.
We might be able to get it right.
What a constant evaluation process.
And that's where I was going to go. I think that's where it goes into, okay, we should, evaluate the people that we drafted, like where is Piggies? Where is Hemingway? Where is our 2 offensive linemen that we drafted?
Yeah, why are they always healthy scratches?
Yeah, where is let's see let's see Besh get more touches and targets. Let's see Thornton be a little bit more creative in getting the ball in his hands. And then of course, let's see Ash and Genty. Yeah, that's why I'm saying let's get more creative with him getting the ball first. But let's see Genty get the ball. Like I feel like this whole season we had this expectation that Genty was going to be our bell cow back, that we were going to be able to run the ball, and every single week it has not happened. We just don't see it, and obviously it's tough to do behind the offensive line that we have currently, but we got to do something, because every time that he touches the ball, that's what everybody wants to see. That's where our offense should have been for this entire season. It should have been Genty. But instead, we tried to rely on a 35-year-old quarterback to win us games. That was not the right mindset to go into the season with. And I mean, excuse me if I'm wrong, I don't think any of us had that expectation that we were going to rely on Geno Smith to win us games. I don't think anybody in Raider Nation had that expectation.
I thought it was going to be Genty that was going to do it for us, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the fact that everyone had this one thought of how this team and this offense was going to run, and then it completely shifts because Geno had one good week and we ended up winning, that it just doesn't make sense. So, yeah.
I mean, there's so many different factors into why we're actually talking about now evaluating talent, and we've already covered it. Bauer's being out as long as he has, that hurts. That hurts because he's such a pivotal aspect to this offense that if he's not on the field, we're kind of one-dimensional. We really are, because we can't throw the ball worth the shit because we can't protect the quarterback. And we might even be zero-dimensional, because even when we try and run Genty or Mosert, they can't get much done. They can't run between the tackles, that's for damn sure, because we can't open up the holes for them. So evaluating talent, should have been evaluating talent a long time ago. There's been plenty of chances with the way that we played in games where we can get these younger guys into the game, give them game time NFL true experience, let them get out there and play. It's unfortunate that both of our rookie offensive linemen weren't active this weekend, because this would have been a perfect opportunity to get them out there.
Yeah.
Get them out there. We're down 31. We're losing so bad, it won't matter who the hell's out there playing. Get them out there. Get them the experience. Let them take some freaking head-on hits from an actual NFL player in a real game, not in preseason where everything's a little bit slower speed because nobody wants to get hurt.
Yeah.
This is where it counts. This is where, the metal hits the metal here. Let's get them out there in that tough situation. Put him up against freaking oh my God, what the hell? I just said his name earlier. I can't even think about Jones. Put him up against Jones. Let him get his ass whooped. Let him know what it's like. So you know what? I ain't gonna want to do that again. So next time I play him, I'm gonna want to kick his ass. It's shit like that that builds character in a player. Confidence. They need that. So evaluating talent. Again,
and what do? We healthy scratched them. They don't even dress.
nope.
Yeah.
How you getting anything done if you don't even activate the guys to see what they got? I'm in total
And
agreement.
we're also not talking about guys that were like 5th and 6th round picks. These were 3rd round picks we're talking about. 3rd round picks. 3rd round picks should usually be starting for your team. The only guy that's a bona fide every down starter right now is Genty.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, Thornton's out there every now and then, and when he's out there, he's not that great. You know, Betch barely even gets a chance to get on the field.
No, we're starting to see Besh, but the thing is, the problem with Besh, he's not getting the fucking ball. He's not getting any targets, and that's also another problem there. And I think I said it for like the last, I don't know, 4 shows that the keys to victory is get the ball to Besh, especially in the red zone, especially with no Brock Bowers here. Get him the fucking ball, because when you throw him the ball, that kid catches it. I think he's only had maybe 1 missed catch, and just because Gino threw the ball like so poorly, like it wasn't catchable. But anytime he throws on the ball, he's catching it. So what does that mean? The kid can make plays. The kid can run a route, but you're not giving him the fucking targets if I can show you otherwise. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And that's it's just crazy. Right now for me, I'm in time to evaluate. If the season's over, I'm saying that it's time to evaluate. It's time to switch over into that mode and try to see what we got here and these rookies. We need
put them out there regardless.
Yes, we need to see these rookies play. They should be playing. They should be starting, to be honest with you. From here on out, they should be starting. I don't know what reason why you wouldn't want to start them. Start them. See what you got. But no more healthy scratches. No more like, they're not ready yet. You're the coach. It's your job to get these guys ready. Get them ready. Use this time. You're having these guys practice out there on a fucking bye week. Get them ready. Get them ready. You practice. I think they practice one more time, and then they go out. They're off until like Sunday or Monday or some shit like that. Get these guys ready. Use this week. Use next week. Get them ready. Start these guys, or at least have them on the roster where they're out there suited up, ready to go ahead and go on a moment's notice. I don't see why not. We need to see what we got on these guys, because we need to see if these draft picks, like how many hit and how many are bust. And then we can kind of start building towards next year. If we're
well, that's just it too. You need to know if these guys are going to be worth trying to keep progressing, or we're going to have to seriously consider drafting almost a whole new offensive line next year, or doing something in free agency with whatever type of player we're going to be able to bring in here.
Yeah.
But again, I still think we're suffering from the effects of the hiring of Josh McDumbass. This goes that far back. You know, I said when we hired him, he's going to set us back 5 years. And we're what, 4 years out now?
Yeah.
Right? This would have been 4 years if he was still here.
Yeah.
And look how fucking dysfunctional this team is. He took over a playoff team, man. A playoff team.
Destroyed it. Just
ripped it up. Ran the living shit out of Josh Jacobs his first year there as the head coach. And then the following year, it was as if Josh Jacobs was an afterthought. Barely ever used him. Shit all over Carr, quarterback that had been here for years. There's a guy that was a leader on the field. I'm sorry. People didn't like him, but you could count on him to lead the team, to be that voice. You know, him and Max together out there, you had your 2 leaders. We ain't got that now. Gino ain't no fucking leader. He's a fucking bum. I'm done betting.
This is
I'm sorry, but
number 3.
This game Sunday just did it to me. That was like the final straw that broke the camel's back. I had it after that. That game just burned me out.
Me too. Me too.
Pissed me off to no end. It pissed everybody off.
It pissed everybody off. That's why we're feeling what we're feeling.
Disgusting.
That's why you're seeing all this. Trust me, you're seeing it from every fucking direction, and rightfully so. We just straight dog shit. That'll be hot dog water. We're past that. We're dog shit. Let's just keep it a bean.
Oh, we're worse than
Dog
bong
shit.
water.
Yeah, we're
Bong water's
at this point.
nasty.
I don't even know if we're going to be able to get better. I just want us to really evaluate these talent, evaluate these rookies, see what we got here, and be able to go ahead and move forward with that, and evaluate everybody else who's starting, who's going to be the guys that we're going to go ahead and eventually keep. Like we went out, we traded for this guy Thomas Booker, or this is some guy we're going to keep, Devin White. You got a couple other guys as well. How are they going to be here next year, or are they worth keeping here next year? So on and so forth. So that's my thing. I think we just need to switch over to the Valley.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about the Sunday game, and then not only was the game shit, but I think the other thing that was a real knife in the back too was Pete's press conference the next day.
Oh yeah.
That just it's like, does he coach does he look at the field like this, like nothing outside of it, like what blind is on? Like, I mean, do you not see the big picture? And then to sit there, come out and make the comments that you make at these press conferences after these games that are just so abysmal. It's like that's what gets to me too. It's like he's just blind to this.
Yeah. And I think I know which comment really triggered that in you. I think is the surprise part, right? That he's surprised we're not farther along. I think that's
yeah. Well,
yeah.
When you come into the end of your training camp and you say we don't know what's going on with the offensive line yet, when he was doing that talk about how it's going to be a process and it's going to be an evaluation, it could take weeks, could take months, could take the whole season. Well, guess what? It's taken the full season up to this point, and it's still not set yet. It's like, what the fuck, man?
I'm gonna, if you guys missed it on Monday, I'm gonna play that little clip of what Jeff is referring to. This is Pete the day after the blowout game. Shout out to the guys who are on the Shield, Farrell and Severe. Make sure you guys go ahead and give them a follow on X and also on YouTube as well. Go ahead and subscribe to their channel. But this is Pete on Monday saying that he's surprised on the season.
The season, has anything surprised you how this season has played out so far?
Yeah, I'm surprised that we're not farther along than we are. I thought we would be, and I anticipated being farther along and being cleaner with our game. What I'm trying to show you is that we can play really balanced football, meaning that all three phases can do their part and give us a chance to play the game where we're not giving the game away. And early on, we were turning the ball over like crazy, and kicking game was struggling, and defense was kind of holding it together for us, it seemed. And so the kicking game has come back around. A couple guys have been switched around, moved around. I think Tom did a nice job adjusting, and the last couple of games have been very solid.
How do you know we didn't get close enough to kick?
They're out there, and every once in a while they make a play, and that's kind of taking place. And defensively was different yesterday. We really missed Max. Max's dynamic play, the things that he does, that was obvious to me. But that's coming along. Offensively now, we've settled down, giving the football up, and so we need to kind of get going again and get moving it and get productive. Yesterday was a mess of making first downs, and they did a great job on us. I really looked at we missed some guys out there.
Yeah.
And Jakobi was really important to us not having him, and the fact that we were so close to getting Brock back. We've played without Brock for almost a month now. I don't know how many games he missed. He missed three games. It seems like forever, and he's such a central figure in our offense. To have him coming back will just seem different. I think everything about it will look different, and we're counting on that.
Then why the fuck did you play him on Monday night against the Chargers? Never should have played in that fucking game.
You shouldn't play the couple other games after that. Yeah, he shouldn't. He should have fucking stayed and rehabbed, and then.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I heard that. I watched that the other day. I was like, "Are you fucking shitting me?" Could you imagine Al Davis still here and he's watching this press conference and his coach comes out and says that? Do you know what Al Davis would have done? He would have fucking fired him on the spot. First of all, he never would have hired Pete Carroll, first of all.
No,
But
he wouldn't have.
oh my God, he would have lost his shit if your coach comes out and says it's like what all the press conferences he's had. It's like, what is he thinking?
Yeah, it's that type of shit. I'm gonna go ahead and
that press conference is so sick, you know?
I'm gonna go ahead and it was pretty bad to watch, man. I already gave my 2 cents on Pete on Monday. I let him have it, but again, shout out to everybody here. We have about 70 in the building. Salute to you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on these channels. Appreciate you guys. It really does go ahead and help to support the show and get the shows out to the YouTube algorithm. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cap it off with this question, and basically, hold on, here we go. What are we gonna see from the rest of the season? Are we gonna continue to see blowouts, or are we gonna see some fight? Are we gonna, is it just gonna look like straight hot dog water? What should we expect from the rest of this season? Let's just be honest, because I think that's what's on everybody's back of everybody's minds. Like, kind of, what are we going to see? What else? Can we get worse from here on out?
I hope we don't get worse. I
don't know how you not get worse.
I hope we don't get worse because I don't understand how the fuck we can get worse.
Way worse, dog. I already thought about it in my mind. Get really bad, dog. They get really, really bad.
Some 0-16 Lions type bad. That's where we're at right now. Yeah, I think it's gonna get a little better. I don't know how much better. That's kind of not really depending on us. I think that's really depending on the coaching. I hope it gets better. I don't know how much is gonna could possibly get worse. I don't know how much possibly could get worse. But if it does, fuck, we are in for it. And this is still rather early in the season, to be honest. Like, this is maybe halfway in the year. And so if they can't figure it out after this season, holy shit, we are in for it.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? What do you think we're going to see for the rest of the season?
I don't know, but I'm sure I'll be surprised. Maybe. I don't know. I at this point, can it get much worse than this?
It could get worse than this
weekend's game. I don't think it
could. It could get worse in the sense where imagine that game across 10 games.
Yeah, that's the only way. Yeah, we got 0 points the rest of the season, and not for nothing, but that very well could happen. That very well could. We could end up scoring the least amount of points in NFL history in a season. That would break a record. That has to be based on what we've already scored this season. We just got shut out. We lost by the Colts. What did we score against the Colts? 10?
6 points.
6 points.
So 2 field goals, yeah.
So 2 games, there's 2 games right there. We only scored 6 points. And then we scored 20 against the Titans. So we're at 26 points in 3 games right there. Yeah. So you figure out the rest of the math on that. It ain't good.
Oh, I know. Yeah. We scored 6 versus the Colts. We did score 24 versus the Commanders. 24 versus the Bears. Only scored 9 versus the Chargers, and then
I forgot about
20
that
with the Patriots. Yeah, and then 20 with the Patriots. So,
do we hit 75 yet?
I don't know. Is that 70? I think we're really close to 75. If not, I think we hit 75 already. Yeah, that's
103. We got 103 points right now on the season.
Yeah.
And against, we got 180. I think we have the most against us. Nope, Cincinnati does.
Yeah. I heard about that guy. Yeah, I don't give a fuck if we go 0-10 the rest of the season, bro. I'll still be fucking Raiders.
No, for real.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the
Yeah.
fucking.
No.
I mean, you guys. I don't know. You guys probably don't. You might, Jay. The Art Shell season, that 2-14
Oh, yeah.
season.
Yeah.
That was
a big
that was
one.
bad. I honestly think this is worse than that. Even if we win another game.
It's,
And I said last year's season was probably felt worse than that one. This one by far feels worse than that Art Shell season, his second go around with us.
because
was
we have more
bad
talent
on
here.
so many levels.
Yeah.
This is
We
like
have more
deja
talent.
vu.
Yeah.
There's definitely deja vu to that season.
Arnie says it's 14 points per game.
That's insane. That's absolutely ludicrous.
That's roughly about right. Yeah, because we got skunked on Sunday, and then that 6 points versus the Colts, it hurt us. And then the 9 versus the Chargers. So yeah,
The fact that we've even broke 100 points is a miracle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, I hope, for me, it's not a wins or losses type anymore. I just want to see better gameplay, and I hope we do get that. I really do. I hope we see some improvement on that front. And if we lose, we lose. Fuck it, so be it. Half of the fan base wants us to lose anyway. But I just want us to look respectable. I want us to at least see what we got and these guys, and just look fucking better out there. Just not look so fucking lost and dumbfounded, and we look fucking straight terrible.
At least look like you know what you're doing out there.
Exactly.
That's the other thing. They don't look like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
At least look the part. Even if you don't know what the fuck's going on, just hit somebody, hit something.
Yes, that's really what I care for. It's just hopefully we can go ahead and make changes. I'm going to say adjustments, but make the changes to start getting towards that direction. That's it.
Then we turned this into a 2.5-hour show. Holy fuck!
We did. There you go. We covered a lot of things. Shout out to you. I can't do math. And I'm Asian. Go figure. There you go. Reverse Benjamin Button. Oh, my guy over here. Yo, shout out to my guy. I'm gonna link up with you in about a week and a half. We're gonna go ahead and celebrate my birthday out there in Vegas. So I'll be out there. I'm still going to the fucking Jaguar game. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and get drunk.
I'm still going to Philly.
Get drunk.
I'm still going to the Cowboys, yeah.
I don't drink, so
you
I
got free
can't.
tickets. That's different.
I'm still probably
you can
going to
come
the
back
Giants
the same day.
too.
Huh?
I'm still probably going to the Giants too.
Okay, there you go. And you can come back.
Are you going to the Chargers game at SoFi?
Yeah. Well, not going. I don't know if I'm going to the game or not. It kind of depends on the
tailgate.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to the tailgate. I don't know how much the tickets are yet.
I mean, that's tough to pass up. I mean, you live right there. I get it. You know, meaning you're not gonna stop going to games. I mean, it's coming to your hometown. I mean, why would you not go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still going to Philly.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. You guys interested in going to the draft next year?
Where is it?
It's in Pittsburgh.
Ooh,
maybe,
yeah.
Because I'm planning on going.
They're probably
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I could drive it or I could fly. A drive is about 8 or 9 hours for me to drive.
Okay.
The other option is it's a flight's only like an hour.
Okay, I gotta check how far it is from Jersey to Pittsburgh. I think it's like 3-4 hours. And I'll take my brother-in-law with me and the wifey.
I can tell you in a second, actually.
The kids can stay with the grandparents. There you go.
There you go. Then you can go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
We're in New Jersey.
Rahway. Shout out to Rahway. Salute to them. Salute to the East Coast fam over there and everybody in the East Coast. There you go. So it's about, I think it's about 4 hours, something like that. There you go. EGC says it's about 5.5 from Jersey, depending where you're at. Yeah, it's about probably like 4. It's probably about 4. So something like that. There you go.
Yeah,
There
5
you
hours, 45, 5 hours, 45 minutes.
5 hours, 45 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. Not too bad.
Or about an hour and 20 minutes if you fly.
Okay, no, they drive. They drive. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Hey, appreciate you, Don. Salute to you, man. Earned a new sub, even though I just found you guys. I was able to vent. Let's fucking go Raiders 2026, though we asked this year. Hey, salute to you, brother. Hey, man, this is therapy. We conduct therapy, not only for ourselves, but for the nation, for you guys. This is much your show as it is ours. That's why I'll be putting the comments up there because, man, we need to get the shit out. It's not good mentally to keep the shit in. You gotta talk to your Raider buddies to help you through the dark times.
Dixon, the Dunkin' Donuts coffee gets thrown at a draft pick.
Hey, there you go. Luke, Dodgers World Series though. That's it. We got the Dodgers.
Go Jays.
Yeah. Well, I know you're not a fan over there, but there you go. At least I got the Dodgers.
Go Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm half French Canadian, so it makes sense.
You fucking connects you. Whatever.
Well, the other half of me is Portuguese, so
still you're a connect, bro. It's all good. There you go. See, LS, y'all keep me
that in
staying
mind
over here. And there you
trip.
go. That's what's up. Yeah, it's all about the sanity. We need to keep. We just need to keep that line of communication open.
Really.
Talk to your Raider buddy, bro. That's what we're here for. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Raider Pete. He's a stockpile lineman and then grab Manning following year. Kid, senior like his family.
You had me at the old lineman pot. You lost me at Manning.
Yeah. We're gonna start dusting off those mock drives. I know,
for real.
Dusting off the mock drafts. I think we got into that point. Yeah, I think we got into that point now where we can go ahead and start dusting those off.
Can you imagine that? We're at the bye week and we're already talking about possibly doing mock drafts soon.
Yeah.
How sad is that? But the problem is, we start doing them this early. Comes the time when you really should be doing them, you're gonna be so fucking burnt out on it already. You're gonna be like,
yeah.
Oh, hey, let's do a mock draft tonight. Or the chat's like, hey, can we do a mock draft? No.
I'm drafting you, even if you haven't declared. I don't give a damn. I'm getting you. You're coming with me.
We did a lot last year.
Yeah, we did do a lot. We did do a lot of facts. For sure. But hey, appreciate everyone tapping in and rocking with us on this Wednesday night. We've been on here for almost 3 hours, 2.5 hours. This has been crazy, y'all. Great show.
I'm on my cigarette in 3 hours.
There you go.
I
know he's already I ate before I came. There you go. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button on all the channels here. We'll be back next week to go ahead and preview the Jaguar game, which I'll be at, by the way. So
yeah, and we're not talking about this past game again. I'm done.
Yeah,
no, we're done. We're closing the book on that one, and that's
yeah,
we're done.
I don't even know if we're gonna talk about it tomorrow.
We'll close the book for tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up next Wednesday. Again, same bad time, 6 p.m. on the same bad channels. All these 3 and plus one more.
Yeah, plus Leo.
If he makes it through. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and tap into the Raider Connection every damn Wednesday, 6 p.m. on these channels for sure. Let them know what you guys have going on for tomorrow and the weekend. The floor is yours, guys.
Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, all right. Tomorrow night, Nate and I will be on the Raiders Coast to Coast, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific. Friday night, I'll be on with Chris Forates doing our Friday Night Live podcast, where it's open to anybody and everybody. After about 20 minutes, we put the link up. Anybody can come on in the chat or get on screen. Saturday night, we're not doing the last call because there's no game to preview. So there will be no last call podcast Saturday night. I may do something different Saturday night. And Sunday, with it being a bye week, I may pick a game and do like a live during the game itself. I don't know yet. I'm debating, but that's all I got. And Nate, you're more than what you know that. I always send a link to you too, and Leo on Friday nights if you guys are around and not doing anything.
Good. There you go. There you go. For me, I just got Good Morning Raiders on Saturday. Make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for that one. 10 a.m. Pacific on the West Coast. I got my guy, Raider Primos. He's going to be pulling up. We're going to go ahead and talk about the season, talk about last week's game. Fire show on that post game. We're going to go ahead and run it back and just kind of looking towards the rest of the season. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up Good Morning Raiders, 10 a.m. this Saturday with my guy, Raider Primos. Tap in, y'all. I don't know if I'm going to do a show the following week because this is my birthday and I'll be in Vegas. So I probably will not do a show then, but I will do a show the following week. I have a big guest lined up for that week too. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap in for that one. I might pull up for Freddy's show. We'll see.
Nice.
Well, actually, no, I can't. I got something lined up, so I can't.
Well, Friday night?
Friday night, yeah. But maybe
I may do an open mic night Saturday night too.
There you go.
Because Chris is taking some time. Actually, Chris won't be on Friday night. That's right. Chris is taking the week off, he said. So okay. I'll be starting Friday night solo, which is fine. I don't mind.
See?
I'm ready to do a solo. I haven't done a solo show in a while.
Gotta do it. Solo shows are fun, bro. They're good. You can talk as much shit you want. There you go.
Chris left early on Monday for the Monday quarterback, and I was solo for about an hour or so. That was fun.
Yeah.
Shout out
to Jeff's
I gotta beat my record from last year. I had one with 21 picks.
Yeah, you gotta beat that record. Yeah. I'm trading back 362 times and having 400 draft picks in 2026. We will have our fucking team one way or another if Jeff is in control of that board. I shit you not.
I just think if we would have gone with that 21 player draft, we would have had plenty of offensive linemen in that one because I had a shit ton. I still got it. I saved it. I did a shit ton of offensive linemen in that one.
Yeah, you did. It was a lot. It was a lot. So yeah. But other than that, guys, that is our time for today. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
But everybody.
We will see you guys next time. Remember, just Raiders. Bye, y'all. Peace.
Stay safe. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.